Come on, because you got to skip that first song. Come on. Computer moving slower than dirt. God darn.
Alrighty, everybody. Minister Bubba Derek here. I just want to do this real quick. It's 4:39. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get this. I'm going to drop the Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Jesus put an offer on the table. And everyone out there is now able to come home with God in your heart. You're never alone. If you believe me, you don't need that weed. Give Jesus a hug and put down the rug. Victory over death is already won. So why are you picking up that gun? If your spirit is active, then think. Why do you need that alcoholic drink? Because the devil tells you, he rules you, he fools you. But the minister is here to school you. I'm here to preach. I'm here to teach. And it's you I'm trying to reach through this song that I composed. When Jesus comes back, only God knows. Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? You won't be if you follow me. I don't know that. Oh God, what can I say about me? You still love us sinners and you offer your grace for free. I'm not worthy, but you still search me out of a life of sin. And with Jesus' help, I know I can win. I love serving my Lord. He opens the door for a relationship with God. This is the only way in. In the name of Jesus, I always pray and I lay myself as a footstool for the lost demons. I know that it's not true to be a believer, but I'm not with my soul. In the hand of the deceiver, a wicked devil, who brings nothing but trouble, put my desires in ice and long for reaching paradise. A day with no pain, no stress. You gave me the way, and now I'm blessed. You can test me, let the devil stress me. But baby, hell is one place I don't want to see. So stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day, let's try a new way. Are you ready or are you sitting heaven? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day, let's try a new way. Minister Bubba Derek. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister Bubba Derek. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I do. It's really hard to be a Christian in 2020. Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a double standard on us. And we don't get no respect in the world. We are considered weak. We are considered soft. We are considered dumb for believing in the book. But yet, these people have no morals. And you see where the world is going to. We get no credit. So, this is for those who are remaining, who are thinking on the team. Let's get it. Every day I dance before the Lord. So I stay connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk upon a stripe as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine.
Let it broadcast worldwide.
I let Jesus be my guide. And if he lets me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning, come to God, and start winning. I rule with the Lord who is in control. Heaven is my goal. This earth is a first level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar. He's a fraud. His desire is to keep me away from my God. The most people I come off as righteous, but I'm tempted. I might just do a few of the things that God can't stand and frown on. Every day I've been reborn. I've been hit with many opportunities. I cannot remain in unity with the Holy Father. Love sound loud under his direct Father. I remain devout when it feels like I'm missing out. Most other people that I meet who lie, steal and cheat, seem content while Christians like me. I'm been struggling. It should be the other way around. I'm not complaining, but how can you tell someone who's living it up to give it up when they're posting high? Doing right is a headache. There's got to be a better approach to take. You know a middle ground between Jesus and Satan. I know who to follow. See, I'm not debating for what I'm waiting for. Satan's day I dance before the Lord, so I stay connected to Jesus like an extension cord. I walk on the stripe as long as my name is in the book of life. So let the light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide, and if he lets me live another day, I'll continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop saying that, come to God, and start winning. I roll with the Lord, who is in control. He said, heaven is my goal, this earth is the first level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil. He's a liar, he's a fraud, his desire is to keep me away from my God. It's a struggle every day to stay on course. I'm behind the enemy line, so I use the word of God as my force, my resource. Becoming immune to the negativity that surrounds me. The devil has a bounty on my head. Sometimes I dread coming outdoors. I feel like I've been drafted for war. But it's okay, the devil can play his mind game, but he can't hurt me where I am. That's spiritually. He tries to distract me physically, financially. But these things don't mean jack to me. I turn my back to thee. It's not easy. It's in man, niggas to be greedy. So I always want what we can't have. A material is nothing to be hated. Don't make me laugh. A spiritual been with the difference is all show. Cause both of these things will take me where I got to go. But if I cheat or steal, then I lose all protection. For a house or election, to be under the direction of a sick demon. Whose goal is to own my soul. No thanks. I roll with the Lord who is in control. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I stay connected like an extension cord. I welcome all the strife as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my God, and if we let me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning. Come to God and start winning. Minister Brother Derek, let's get it. Welcome to the Minister Brother Derek Show, and I am Minister Brother Derek. I just want to say that I love Jesus, and that's the title of this song. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us. Can't get enough.
Hey.
I love my Jesus. But people say to keep it real. But here's the deal. If you're not saved, you're missing out. If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last. When your time comes, it will be reduced to ash. Your flesh will rot, but your light will not. You know your soul will go on forever, so you better realize that you need God, or you will be surprised by the pain of a flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where the heat swells up, there's no relief, not for a moment of peace. The agony and cries never cease. There's someone in the background singing, burn, baby, burn. This isn't normal. Burn, baby, burn. I'm gonna walk in inferno. But seriously though, this will happen. If Jesus come back and finds you napping. See, no one knows the time of day. But if you follow the word, it won't matter.
I love you,
because in heaven, no
Jesus.
one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this ground, I show no fear. What you gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track?
I love
So
you,
keep napping.
Jesus.
Keep stacking. Keep on shacking up. But get caught napping and the jig is up. And I just want to say, I love you, Jesus. Follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us.
I love you, Jesus.
If you think that witnessing to your neighbors is weird, pick a foreign country with statues.
I love you, Jesus.
People who don't know God, only mythical characters like the Alabama was Most Americans believe in one goal, one superior being. Christianship is growing up solely by the million, but we spend our time fulfilling the desires of our flesh. We won't give Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't deserve. And you wonder why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really
I
admire.
love you, Jesus.
You know you have a desire to make that easy money. Drive the fancy car. You feel like a star. When you enter the bars and clubs, deep down your spirit isn't for God or his ways. So why should anybody listen to a darn thing you say?
I love you, Jesus.
Follow you wherever you lead us.
I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. Don't let the devil deceive us.
I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. Let the Holy Spirit feed us. And one more time. I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The minister, Brother Derek Show. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're going to try something different today. I was talking to Chung Lee last night, and the subject of atheists came up. And so I thought that we would do a show. There are a lot of people who don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. So I did some looking around, and basically I just typed into Google, what does the Bible say about atheists? And it came up with 2 Psalms. The one we focusing on is Psalm 14:1. And you see it on your screen, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But that's our thumbnail. The Bible says, those of you who call yourself atheists, you ain't nothing but a fool. Anybody want to call in and challenge that? The Bible says, if you don't believe in Jesus and God, you're a fool. That's what the book says. Anybody want to call in and challenge it? Any atheists out there? Come tell us why you're not a fool. The Bible says you're a fool. I ain't said it. The scripture says it. If you don't believe in God, you're a damn fool. That's what it says. I didn't say it. Can't get mad at me. But let me put the link up, because you're welcome to come in and tell us why you're not a fool. There's the link right there. Call in here and tell us why you're not a fool. The Bible says you're a fool. All you people that come in the chat and say your negative stuff, you want to call me dumb, call me retarded for believing in the God? Well, the book says you're a fool. Come defend yourself. Come tell us why you're not a fool. Anybody out there? Come tell us why you're not a fool. The Bible says you're a fool. I'm not telling you what some pastor said. I ain't telling you what Creflo Dollar said. I ain't telling you what Jimmy Swaggart said. I'm telling you what the Bible said. The Bible says, If you're an atheist, you're a fool. So please come tell us why you're not a fool. You can find contradictions in the Bible. Come here and tell us why you're not a fool. The link is in the chat. Anybody got the courage to come in here? Oh, we just lost somebody. Oh, well, we know that was one of the fools. Anybody want to come in? Tell me why you're not a fool. Where all the trolls and all the haters at? Where you at? The Bible says you a damn fool. So come convince us why you're not. Come in here and rationalize. Come in here with your slick words. Let me show y'all the exact scripture. Hold on. I had to start a new Hangout account. So I put everything, a new StreamYard account. So let me copy that link address. And let me open up a new window. And we're going to put the address in the window. And we ready to go. Let me bring y'all in. Let me take this photograph off. Well, everybody's so quiet. Nobody got a comment? I'm getting ready to show you. I didn't make this up. Y'all see this on y'all screen? Y'all can see it. Psalms 14:1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. The Bible says the fool. He didn't say the scholar. He didn't say the genius. It doesn't say the great mind. It says the fool has said in his heart that there ain't no God. So the Bible is saying, if you don't believe in God, you're a damn fool. So to you atheists that like to troll, come defend yourself. Because see, you say things out your mouth. You type things on social media. The Bible says you're a fool. Men who are inspired by God to put God's word to pen. God told them to write that he think you a daggone fool. Next time you hear somebody say they're atheists, I want you to think of the scripture. What does it say? They are fool. They not holy people. They're not trustworthy people. Well, how can we say that? Well, let's read. The Psalms 14:1. The fool has said in his heart. The what? The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There's no one who does good. So anybody who tells you they are an atheist, that they don't believe in God, run from them, hide from them, shun them. God says they fools. They corrupt. They've done abominable works. There's not one of them that does any real good. It's right here in the scripture. Show me a scripture that says you ain't one. Show me something to prove you ain't a fool. I didn't say nothing about no religion. I'm talking about the people who call themselves atheists. People that spend their time trying to get other people to believe that there ain't no God. Says right here, you's a fool. Anybody want to comment? Anybody want to come in and try to make their any kind of defense for that side? If you don't believe in God, you a fool. Somebody told me something a long time ago, and now I know where they got it from. They said, if somebody tells you they don't believe in God, they're not trustworthy. And I said, what? He said, yeah, somebody to tell you they don't believe in God, they're not trustworthy. I said, what do you mean? Well, they don't have the fear of God in them. So that means they got the love of Satan. And that means they will lie, cheat, steal, trick, whatever they have to do. Don't do business with them. Don't associate with them. Don't hang with them. That's what I was told as a young man. Isn't it amazing? The people that come to me tell me the things that tend to piss people on social media off today. The things that I was taught as a young man were not taught to the generation that came behind me and the generation that came behind them. You know why? Because they weren't taught by men. They were taught by men's, men that were raised by women. They weren't taught by men. They don't know what a real man is. They don't see a real man till they get to the police station. They don't see a real man until they get a CO. They don't see a real man until they looking at a judge. They don't see a real man until they looking at the men in the jury box. That's the only time they see a real man. I remember in the 80s, you had women going around talking about God was a woman. When I first came to YouTube, you had men like Brother Polite and Young Pharaoh talking about the woman is God. Who raised these she-males, these he-she's? Well, now we know who raised them, and we know what they are. And what are they? Fools. I didn't call them a fool. I see the foolish behavior, but I haven't called them a fool. The Bible says that they fools. Nobody want to come in and comment. Nobody want to come in and comment. You got people going around calling themselves this, calling themselves that. Every woman is a queen. Every man is a king. They're going around calling themselves gods. See, I don't mind them calling themselves gods. When Jesus breathed that air into Adam's nostrils, we got a hint of God's spirit. And it's in all of us. We are many gods. I'll take that. And we should treat each other like we many gods. But that's not what they do. They call themselves kings and queens and think that they better than everybody else. If you don't even use your spirit, if you don't use the power that God told Jesus to give you, that we all have, how are you better than me? But see, we already know what you are. The Bible says it. You're a fool. We already know it. We don't have to pay you a bit of mind. We know to ignore whatever you say. We know to put up with you until we can get away from you. That's what we know. I find it strange. Where's everybody? Don't nobody want to come challenge? I don't know how you're going to challenge this, but you welcome to try it. Come on in here with your rationalizing. Come on in here and tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel. But the one thing you can't tell me is what you know, because now that you know, you see it. How do you lie it out? How do you put lies on it? How you water it down? I'm listening. Where is everybody? Psalms 14:1. Pull your Bibles out. Google it. Go into the Play Store and get the Bible app. Psalms 14:1. The fool, the what? The fool, the what? The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. None of them do any good. This is describing a child of the devil. This is basically describing a demon, a human one. So the next time somebody comes in your face and tells you, put that Bible down. Turn that daggone TV off. I don't want to hear that mess. I'm an atheist. You better get away from them. Don't even waste your time with them. Don't listen to a darn thing they say. All they can do is help push you in that furnace. That way you want to go. I'm asking the question. Is that where you want to go? You want to take a trip? You want to spend thousands of years on the hot coals? Keep listening to these what? Fools. I didn't call them a fool. Don't hit me up in the comment section. Y'all don't leave comments anyway. You're too lazy. But I'm challenging anybody out there listening. It's 9 in your head. Somebody come on in here and say something. I'm listening. I'll listen. We ain't gonna pay what you say a bit of mine, but we'll listen. I know ain't nobody coming. Nobody would dare. How do you dispute what's in your face? How do you dispute what's in your face? But you got people out there that'll tell you that it was an explosion, and the explosion created everything. You got scientists that's trying to tell you that we came from monkeys, but only certain of us came from monkeys. You got people saying that they Neanderthals, but they only 7% Neanderthal. But they want to tell you there ain't no God. It was just a big bang happened, and everything was created. All the different trees, all the different species of animals. Everything was just created by magic. Just boom, an explosion, everything just happened. Hey, how you doing, Chung Lee? I told you I was going to do a show on what we talked about last night. I just wish somebody had the balls that call in here. Scripture says it right here. It says it. The fool, the what? The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So if you go around calling yourself an atheist and you don't believe in God, what the Bible say you are, you're a fool. I can't dress it up for you. I ain't gonna dress it up for you. It says you a damn fool. It says you are corrupt. You don't do nothing but abominable works. And not one of you do any good. This is what the Bible says. The word inspired by God. God said you're a fool. Why should we listen to anything you say? Why should you be taken seriously? Why should we do business with you? Why should we have our children around you? God says you're a fool. So where are the atheists at? There's so many of y'all on YouTube. Won't nobody come in and say anything? Where you at? We know you won't come. Where are all the scholars at? Where are all the people? Where are all the people that's West Side Netta? Where y'all at? Where's the gang? Omatos and all them other people. Where you at? Nobody don't want to come on a real topic. But if we had took some explainable thing that you want to talk about to make your point, you'd be here in a heartbeat. But we coming at you with the truth. This is the truth. You ain't got to believe me. Google Psalm 14:1. The fool. It didn't say the nice guy. It didn't say the holy person. It didn't say the quick-witted. It didn't say the great. It didn't say nothing but fool. You cannot fix that. And it didn't stop there. Not only are you a fool, you are corrupted. You do abominable works. You do evil. And it's right here in your face. Chung Lee says she's going back to VR. She's not wearing her glasses. I'm asking the question. How come, where's everybody at? I'm looking at the chat. All I see is Chung Lee typing. Where's everybody? Y'all know it's a Saturday sermon. You got people that believe that it's one big bang and the world gonna end in one big bang again. One big bang created everything. When you see the flowers, it just happened out of nowhere. When you see how the animals are set up and how there's a food chain, didn't nobody set that up. It just happened, boom. Boom. Human beings are the only living creatures that can actually think for themselves. It just happened that way. But the elephants can't think for themselves. The cats can't think for themselves. The doves can't think for themselves. The coyotes, the wolves, the fish, the dolphin, the sharks, none of them can think for themselves. We the only ones that can actually sit and figure out what we're going to do and plan it out and do it. It's very few animals that can even plan anything. I think that a bird can build a nest. There's a couple animals. I think beavers can build a house. But this just happened. Didn't nobody create anything? It just happened. Would somebody like to come in and explain? Come explain the Big Bang Theory. Anybody? But it's right here. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So if you think that way, this is what God thinks of you. He thinks you're a darn fool. And don't get mad at me. I didn't say it either. All right, so since nobody don't want to talk, let's go to our first article here. So we'll stop screen sharing that. Hello. All right, can you all see this on your screen? Yes, you can. All right, let's get it. The fool says in his heart. The what? The fool says in his heart, there is no God. Atheism in the Bible and in late antiquity. The Bible is nothing if not a small library of books very much focused on God. God is presented as the creator of the universe, the architect of the planet, humanity's home, and of humanity itself. In the Bible, God has revealed his character, his law, his wisdom, his grace, and his redemptive purposes. Through his prophets, God has spoken to humanity in a variety of circumstances and on a great many themes and topics. God has rebuked humanity, including his own special people of Israel, for its corrupt and sinful activities. Chief among these is humanity's tendency to indulge in idolatry, either in worshiping various gods or making idols that represent these gods. There are passages in the Bible where humanity is rebuked for ignoring God. Yet, curiously, the Bible says very little about atheism, the belief that there is no God. That's what atheism means, for those that don't know. Of course, having said that, a well-known verse immediately comes to mind. The fool says in his heart, what? The fool says in his heart, there is no God. The verse, in fact, occurs in two passages in the book of Psalms, at 14:1 and 53:1. Verses in this article are from the RSV translation. Psalms 14 and 53 are slightly different versions of the same psalm, appearing in two distinct books, books 1 and 2, that make up the 5 books of the Psalter. Most commentators believe Psalms 14 is closer to the original form of the psalm, and yet another psalm, the same assertion appears. According to Psalms 10, we are told that the thoughts of the wicked may be summed up as there is no God, and God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. What is the meaning of the bold assertion, there is no God? Commentators rightly maintain that the statement is not a literal denial of the existence of God or gods, but a description of the wicked who live and behave as though God takes no notice of human behavior. The respective context of Psalms 10, 14, and 53 support this interpretation. According to Psalms 10, the wicked hotly pursue the poor, and the man greedy for gain curses and renounces the Lord. The wicked man believes that God will never see his evil deeds. Moreover, this man believes he will never encounter adversity, but will get away with theft and murder. According to Psalms 14 and 53, the man who says there is no God is corrupt, is a liar, and never does good. It is no surprise that the Apostle Paul cites portions of these Psalms in order to make his point that no human is righteous and that no one seeks for God. Romans 3:10-12. Similar thoughts are expressed elsewhere in the Hebrew Bible. According to Psalm 73, the wicked ask, how can God know? is their knowledge in the Most High. We find the same idea in the prophets. Jeremiah declares, they have spoken falsely of the Lord and have said he will do nothing. No evil will come upon us, nor shall we see sword or famine. While in Zephaniah, the Lord warns that he will punish men who say in their hearts, the Lord will not do good, nor will he do ill. That is, the Lord will do nothing in response to human behavior, whether to reward the righteous or punish the wicked. In short, the declaration, there is no God, is an expression of practical atheism, of living as though God is distant and indifferent. Early Hebrew interpreters understood the declaration. There is no God the same way. This is seen clearly in the Aramic paraphrase of the Psalter. That's referring to the book of Psalms. According to this version, called the Targum, the thinking, there is no God, implies the assumption on the part of the wicked person that none of his thoughts are revealed before the Lord. The fool's declaration that there is no God is paraphrased to read, there is no rule of God in the land. Though expressed differently, the same point is made. The fool has said in his heart that God does not punish him. Accordingly, the atheists of the Bible are those who believe God takes no notice of human behavior, either to reward or to punish them. The wicked man, therefore, may do as he pleases. He need not fear that God will observe or take action against him. The fool's assertion that there is no God is not an expression of philosophical atheism, but rather a reckless assumption that God takes no interest in human affairs. In late antiquity, things began to change. To be sure, belief in God, or in most cases in the gods, remained almost universal. Explicit and outright atheism is very hard to detect in the classical world of late antiquity. Though see the discussion of Philo below, nevertheless, in some philosophical circles, traditional beliefs about the gods were beginning to be questioned. A small number of philosophers and writers in the Greek world questioned the existence of the traditional gods, that is, the gods of Olympus. For example, some claim that Epicurus, who publicly taught that the gods existed but took no notice of human affairs, was really an atheist, but kept this opinion private out of fear of the public. In an academic setting, as described in Plato, the question of the existence of gods or God was raised. Elsewhere, Plato speaks of contemporaries who believe that the world is governed by chance, not gods, and that morality is man-made, not divine. Similarly, in a play by Critias, a character asserts that the gods are an intervention designed to deter crime that otherwise would go undetected and therefore unpunished. Plato also speaks of those who assert that the gods exist but are indifferent to humanity. Here we have practical atheism, not unlike what we see in the Hebrew Psalms. Although theism, as a typo, atheism was almost universal in the Mediterranean world of late antiquity, a vocabulary of atheism, one might say, did emerge. The two principal words are atheos, an adjective that means godless or ungodly, and atheos, an adjective that means ungodliness. Neither word implies the idea that there is no God. The words almost always are used in reference to the impious or to those who fail to honor the gods properly. Atheos can also be in a reference to a person or thing that has been abandoned by the gods. Example, he is a man who is without God. We find an example of this use in Sophocles, as well as in later magical texts I want to flee the godless, atheist, typhon, consumed with fire, the goddess Atheos typhon. Examples of Atheos meaning showing the gods no respect are found in Sophocles, Aristophanes, and Euripides. The vocabulary of atheism in late antiquity also includes the adjectives athei, meaning without God or the gods, or without the assistance of the gods. Atheia, same as atheist, meaning impious, or without respect for the gods, and atheistos, meaning uninspired by God or the gods. We encounter some of this vocabulary in Jewish and Christian literature. For example, in Sibylline oracles, pagan temples are said to be godless. Later oracles in this diverse collection refer to godless men, godless laws, and godless service. The Testament of Solomon, a late first century Jewish pseudepigraphon, refers to a godless angel. These examples make use of the adjective atheos. A second century Christian pseudepigraphon declares sinful, unrighteousness, and impious is the man who falls away from piety and righteousness and godliness. Here, impious translates atheos. In the writings of Philo of Alexandria, the Jewish apologist and allegorist who lived at the turn of the era, most occurrences of atheos mean without God. Atheist opinions, atheistic reasonings, impious opinion, impious disposition, and the like. Philo also makes the use of atheos in the sense of impious or godless. On the sacrifices of Cain and Abel, on the posterity of Cain, that God is unchangeable, on drunkenness, on the confusion of tongues. This is long. Told you I don't read these in advance. But Philo does make use of atheos and atheos in context where he speaks of atheism, meaning belief that God does not exist. A half dozen passages are worth considering, even if very briefly. The first appears in Philo's discussion of creation. Moses teaches us that also many other things, and especially 5 most beautiful lessons, which are all superior to all others. In the first place, for the sake of convicting the atheist, he teaches us that the deity Theos has a real being and existence. In this context, Philo speaks of 2 types of atheists. The first are of 2 minds, by which he means we would probably call agnostic, that is, people who are not sure if God exists. But Philo also speaks of those who assert that the deity does not exist at all, but that it is a mere assertion of men obscuring the truth with myth and fiction. Here we have reference to true atheism in a philosophical sense. All right, got done. I didn't know it was that long. All right. Man, that person went deep. Let me check the chat and see if anybody came in here and want to say something before we keep on. Oh, man. My throat hurt reading all of that. God darn. That article told us more than we wanted to know. We holding a sermon. We ain't holding class. I feel like we in school somewhere. Let me get the next one here. Okay, okay. And go. All right. I told y'all what I typed in. What does the Bible say about atheism? That's what this is called. What does the Bible say about atheism and being an atheist? I hope it's a better article. For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. Romans 1:20. What does the Bible say about atheism and being an atheist? Atheism is defined as a disbelief or lack of belief in God. An atheist is someone who claims to believe there is no God. The more well-known of the scriptures that deal with being an atheist found in Psalms 14:1, it says, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. A second scripture from the book of Psalms says, in the pride of his face, the wicked does not seek him. All his thoughts are, there is no God. A person who denies the existence of God more times than not is someone who doesn't want to be held accountable to a creator. Saying there's no God allows these people in their minds to live their lives as though they chose without having to answer to God. These people in their minds want to live their lives as they choose without having to answer to God, while saying they do not have enough faith to believe in God because they can't see him. They claim to believe in theories such as the Big Bang, and the evolutionary theory. It has often been said that it takes more faith to be an atheist who believes all of creation just appeared from nothing than it does to simply believe there's a God who created it all. This is certainly a true statement. So how can so many claim to be atheists who do not believe in God? And I read this again. While saying they do not have enough faith to believe in God because they can't see him, they claim to believe in theories such as the Big Bang and the evolutionary theory. It has often been said that it takes more faith to be an atheist who believes all of creation just appeared from nothing than it does to simply believe that there is a God who created it all. This is certainly a true statement. So how can so many claim to be atheists who do not believe in God? 2 Corinthians 4:4 says, Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. While this explains how some can claim to believe in these alternative theories to God, the Bible also says they will be without excuse for not knowing God. Romans 1:20, for ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power and driven nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God. Hey, I said that. You will find no back and forth arguments in the Bible between God and man, in which he is trying to convince us humans as to why we should believe he exists. The Bible simply states in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. There is no other reasonable explanation. Whether you're a Christian or if you claim to be an atheist, it says in Romans 14:11, as surely as I live, says the Lord, every knee will bow before me, every tongue will acknowledge God. Sooner or later, for better or worse, everyone will bow and acknowledge God. Now, that was a nice article. Not too long, full of information. And hey, it backed up everything I said. Anybody have any comments? I thought we'd have a debate here. I thought somebody would have came in here and challenged me. I thought somebody would have took this opportunity to come in here and show us why they believe there ain't no God. I'll give them a chance. I'll put the link up again. And we'll play a song and then we'll move on. Nobody got any comments? Oh man, I pulled the wrong thing up. Whoops, my bad.
Yo, this Bro Darryl, the one man show. Come, yeah, Bro Darryl, the one man show. I'm back with another track. But not true. Can you feel that? I said, can you feel that? Oh yeah, nice and mellow. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I let myself back into a life of sin. Can you forgive me again? I'm on the flesh, but deep down I have a zest. I keep failing the devil. Does this mean I'm not ready? My heart is heavy. I'm stuck in a state of confusion. I'm doing wrong. It's like a nightmare, but it's no illusion. My God, what's the solution? Is the pleasure of this world enough to make my faith unfurl and pass? I try to stay on the right path, but it never lasts. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I feel like a marked man. I know you understand that this agony is part of your plan. Or am I just weak? How did the devil sneak inside and deprive my spirit? Jesus said he would never leave us. So why is he being quiet while I died in snatch and unclean acts? Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the rest of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I'm making my plea. Jesus, can you help me? I'm not perfect on the outside. I seem righteous, but inside I'm fighting the battle of my life. I need someone to focus on, a child and wife. I got too much time on my hands. It's all about me. I'm free to do what I want. Whatever I feel with no repercussions. I get bored. My flesh and face start struggling. I get lonely. The followers at the church don't help. I'm around 100 people, but I'm still by myself, so it's easy to lower myself. I've been in the company of someone who threatens my spiritual health. But Lord, you took my great grandma, my mother, bless their souls, and left me with no guidance in this cold, cruel world. The words of God, you snatched my baby girl just when I was starting to appreciate fatherhood. And you won't send anybody good who I can marry, who can carry a child for me. I refuse to be a single missionary in another country, alone in a nation I don't know. But deep down I feel that's where you want me to go. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. I don't understand my purpose. Can you unlike me and bring to the surface what you have in store for me? I wonder, are you ignoring me, or is it the other way around? I know I'm stubborn, but your word says that a believer will from within change. And then that person won't want to sin, while I'm really willing and able, waiting for you to the table my sinful lust and get you are trust. So do what you must. I give you full control of my soul. Oh Lord, I'm not worthy of your love, because your grace is the last thing I think of. I don't want to feel the wrath of your anger, but I keep stumbling into danger. Another hit from Bro Darryl, one man show. Feel that. Hope it touches you in some way. I'm out. Praise God. No, forget.
All righty. Last call. Last call. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought we was gonna have a nice debate tonight, but nobody got the courage to call in. In the past, people said you didn't have the stream yards. Well, we got the stream yards up, so there ain't no excuse. Everybody want to hop on the panel. Not one person, ain't nobody in the back chat, not nothing. Nobody want to touch this subject. So the next time, like I said, somebody comes up to you in your face and tells you that they're an atheist, Laugh to yourself in your mind. Don't disrespect them. But get away from them fast as you can. Don't let your children be around them. That's not the kind of influence that you want to promote. For somebody to say there was an explosion and that this wasn't thought out, that this creation wasn't planned. It just boom, it just happened. Boom. And then one day, boom, it's gonna all go away. If you really believe that, it's something wrong with you. But don't take it from me. Don't take it from me. I didn't say it. The Bible did. The Bible said get damn food. And that's what we're going to end it on. Nobody want to comment? We'll leave that there. The next time somebody come and tell you that, keep in mind what God says about them. They's a daggone food. So let's share the screen and let's see what's going on in the world today. All right, y'all can see the screen. Oh, let me take this out. Didn't nobody call in, so just pull that back. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Take me to YouTube.
Said. Breaking news to tell you about right now. Police looking for the person who shot and robbed a man. This happened just after 3 o'clock this morning on Illinois near Michigan in near North. Now you can see several police cars at the scene. Witnesses saw a struggle between the victim and another man before the 34-year-old man was shot. He was taken to Northwestern Hospital in serious condition.
And we have a Northwestern Hospital too. I knew it. I ain't even gonna say nothing. What are they crying about? How are y'all?
Less than 2 weeks after Howard County school bus drivers returned to their routes with a promise in cash bonuses, well, they're planning to stop work again next week, claiming that the school board changed the terms of the agreement.
WMAR 2 News' Jeff Hager has more on that story tonight.
The Board of Education has come through with the bonuses for bus drivers as promised, but now it's planning to stretch them out well into next year. Howard County school bus drivers who abandoned their early morning routes one day last week say they returned to work that same afternoon with a promise.
If we got in the seats and drove that afternoon, that we should get the $2,500 bonus within 10 days, and then the other $2,500 would come by December 31st.
But the deal approved by the school board last night stretches out the second half of that bonus over 8 months through June of next year.
Now we're being hijacked and blackmailed from now to the end of the school year.
Drivers who have gone without a cost of living increase for more than a decade, who were fed up last week, are even more angered now.
We are planning to call out Monday and stay out until we get a written document stating that we are going to get what we wanted. And that's, I'm sorry, but that's the way it's going to be.
School bus contractors like Mike Bowen learned of the delayed installment plan for the bonuses earlier this week.
It was presented to our attorney and the contractors on Monday, and we rejected it.
But it never came up again until it was hastily added to the board's agenda just hours before Thursday night's meeting. In a written response to threats of another work stoppage, County Executive Calvin Ball, in part today, said he supports continued conversation with the board to ensure, quote, appropriate compensation timing while keeping the drivers on the road. Meanwhile, drivers also take exception to an out contained inside the agreement that doesn't guarantee they'll ever see all of their money.
This document also states that this policy could be canceled because of convenience at any time.
Bus drivers were originally told that they would get their first lump sum payment today, but that too has been delayed until contractors sign the controversial proposed agreement. Reporting in Howard County, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
And some of y'all are saying to yourself, well, why would you play that? Why would you play that, Minister Bubba Dirk? And that's not news. Doesn't nobody get hurt. Nobody got killed. Why would you play that? Well, because even though this seems small, there's a bigger story here. That was Howard County. Montgomery County and Prince George's County are two of the richest counties in the United States. Howard County is right behind them. Okay? These people is complaining about not getting their cost of living increase. You probably saying to yourselves, well, they deserve it. I don't disagree. But you see how callous and unconcerned the people are about giving them their money. They talking about they just gonna not work and walk out. There ain't nobody shaking. Anybody want to guess why? Anybody want to guess why? I guarantee you, Howard County pays more money than Baltimore County, which is the biggest county in Maryland. Howard County probably pays 5 times as much as Baltimore City. You know how many drivers that's in Anne Arundel County, that's in Carroll County, that's in Baltimore County, especially in Baltimore City, would love to work and drive. There wouldn't be no shortage. We ain't talking about Burger King and McDonald's. We ain't talking about the Payless shoe store at the mall. These are drivers who drive our kids around. Hey, what's going on, Kevin King? But you notice that the county is not upset. They know they can have new drivers there within hours. People will drive 40 miles to come drive their buses. People will drive 50 miles each way a day because they pay good. The people that's there want more money. But there are more people that will work for less money and be glad to be there. Be like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. I'm very happy to be here. I got to drive 40 miles each way, but God darn, I'm making an extra $400 a week. It's going to be a good Christmas this year, dear. Let's go. Those drivers who were benefiting from that extra $400 or $500 a week might find themselves unemployed, might find themselves driving 40 or 50 miles, begging for a job somewhere else. That's why the county ain't sweating it. That could be the bad thing. So what's going on with you, Kevin King? Did you do a video today? I've been asking for you to be a little bit more creative. You know, you live in a beautiful neighborhood. Some of us here in the city, we have to go to parks to see trees and brush and things like that. You might want to take advantage of showing us things around your house. It seems like you on a hill or a mountain. I'm sure there are different locations that you can take us to. You have a beautiful yard. Some of us don't have yards. Maybe you could do like a picnic in the grass, or walk around your neighborhood and show us the different sites. These are just ideas that you could do for your show, sir. If you have neighbors, maybe you could interview some of your neighbors. Ask them what they do and their, what they do in their daily routines. These are things that you could do and people would watch. They would be entertained. If this is really you, I've been wanting to say this to you for a while. We love you. We just want you to come up with some new creative ideas, and I gave you a couple. This is my email. Hey, what happened? I was typing. What happened? There's my email, Kevin, if you ever want to talk. Reaching out to you. And like I was saying, that's a case where your hardship could be my biggest reward. Because if I'm driving for Baltimore City and y'all walk off the job, I'm walking off my job in Baltimore City. I'm gonna go make that extra $400 or $500 a week driving in your place, and I'm gonna cross your picket line every day, grinning. That's why them people ain't worried. They not worried. You ain't coming back to work, so what? You ain't coming back to work, so what? That's why they not flinching. They like, whatever. You'll get your money when you get it. All right, check this out real quick.
An update this morning on the search for a man accused of attacking a woman on a Bronx subway platform. Police have released new images of the suspect. Investigators say the man seen here got into an argument with the woman at the Jackson Avenue subway station Wednesday night. The woman says she initially thought he punched her in the shoulder, but then realized she was bleeding. She was taken to Lincoln Hospital in stable condition.
And that's why she should have had her daggone wasp spray and should have sprayed the heck out of them and kicked them down the escalator steps. But that's what I would have done. Maybe and everybody can't be like me, I guess. Oh, I can't tell. Well, that's CBS. It ain't Fox.
Let's get right to that breaking news.
Yeah, smash and grab thieves strike again, pulling off a big heist at the Louis Vuitton store.
Oh, come on.
This comes just days after a robbery crew cleaned out a diamond jewelry store at Sun Valley Mall in Concord.
KPIX5's Kenny Choi, photojournalist Bob Horn were the first crew on the scene there tonight. Kenny?
Yeah, this is still a very active scene with a heavy police presence. We're told that they are still searching for suspects in the area. Take a look behind me. You can see some of the doors and windows of that Louis Vuitton store smashed, glass littering the sidewalk. Several streets surrounding Union Square had to be blocked off and still are. According to a police source, this began as a smash and grab, then turned into a robbery a little after 8 p.m. Spoke to one witness who says that more than a dozen people could be seen running out of the store, clinging to merchandise and hauling as much as they could. At one point, SFPD officers could be seen surrounding a gray convertible Mustang with one patrol car blocking it. Several officers taking their batons to smash out the windows. Source telling us that at least one person inside that car had to be taken to the hospital. KPIX5's captured video of police detaining one person at the scene. SFPD also confirming multiple suspects have been already arrested. And there have been, of course, a number of high-end heists all over the Bay Area, including Union Square, which has been hit hard several times since last year. Back out here live, you could see that gray Mustang right near the store. Police officers and investigators still surrounding that car, searching that car at this hour. Police are responding to other stores in the area that have also been vandalized. This is still on an ongoing investigation. As you can see, heavy police presence here tonight in Union Square.
Kenny, just quickly, did I hear you right? Did you say 12 people came running out of that store?
According to one witness I spoke to shortly after I arrived on the scene, she said that she saw at least 12, perhaps more, but that's what we're hearing from witnesses out here at the scene. Alan?
All right, we'll let them sort it all out. Kenny Choi, thanks.
This is why people don't trust the police. I don't know if y'all noticed. But this is why I do this. There were people running with stuff. All the police is focused on one car that's just sitting there. They focusing on one car. People running with stuff. Why are they not chasing down the people that's running? Why are they not getting the other stuff? Why all of them focusing on that one car? I'm asking the question. People just running. They ain't chasing them. It's that same thing. We don't want to go out there and walk around. We don't want to go drive around and try to catch somebody doing something before they doing it. We want to wait till they in the car driving away, and then we can pull them over and gang up on them. That's what we want to do. We want to be safe. People just running with stuff. They just sitting there. Let's get this car. They got the batons, they bashing the windows in. People running down the street with the merchandise. Man, don't guard my stuff. The car's sitting here, shoot the tires out. You don't need 5 police officers on that one car. Go chase down the people that got the stuff, suitcases and all, and they just running down the street. Nobody doing nothing but this one car sitting here in front of the store. Let's all converge on the one car. See, it's sitting there. It can't go nowhere. We outnumber it. Let's block it in. But all the other people that's running with all that stuff, you know, if we try to get them, they might hurt us. But these people are in the car. They in the car. We outside the car. We got it surrounded. They can't hurt us. Let's act like we doing something. This is why people don't trust the police. They supposed to protect you. They got the guns, but they act like they more scared than you is. If that was your store, you'd be running down behind the people. Hey, bring my stuff back. It's the police job to stop them, but they don't want to go run after them. They want to somebody that's already in the car. Well, they ain't going nowhere. We see the people running with the stuff, but they all right. I ain't gonna get hurt because one of them might pull out a gun or something. But we know we got this car right here. So we'll act like we doing something. They breaking glass of a car while people running down the road with all the contents of the store. Nobody chasing them. We looking at people. Someone running, someone walking, like whatever. They ain't gonna cops, they're gonna mess with me, and they're right. They sure didn't. They just walking on like they just. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. How you doing, Bobcat? Anybody want to have a debate about that? We looking at people running, someone walking, this carrying stuff. The police ain't doing nothing. But they all converge on this one car. See, they ain't got to run. Ain't no danger. They all doing through all of that. That person might have had one purse. That person might have had one coat. That person might have had one duffel bag. Person might have had 2 t-shirts in the car. While the whole store gone and people just going down the road with it and they ain't doing nothing. Just looking. You say I was a Blue Lives Matter kind of person. You obviously didn't watch last year. We lost half our chat covering the riots. What are you talking about? That wasn't nobody out there. That story we did on police getting in trouble with the internal affairs and being shipped to another county or another state, still hide. Ain't miss a paycheck. Shot and killed somebody for no reason, working in another county or state. Ain't even miss a paycheck. That's the reason why people hate to see those lights come behind them. Mother said it's legal here as long as you still under $1,000 and stuff. What? Can you Google that mud duck and send me the proof of that? Y'all see the people? They just, and some of them just sashaying like, la-di-da. They just acting just like whatever. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. They over there messing with that car. They more concerned about the person in the car than the people going down the street. You got the car blocked in, go get them people. Nope. All right, I might get hurt. You must be crazy. We'll all stay here where we safe at. If the police scared, man, I feel for the citizens. Mother said it's a misdemeanor. They sure cared about that one car that was already there. They ain't had to go chase it. It was right there. They ain't had to do nothing. And that's in San Francisco. I thought they were crazy down there. Uh-oh, breaking news out of Chicago. Breaking news.
Jim Williams happening now. Protesters wrap up demonstrations downtown. Hundreds shut down streets in opposition to the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Not guilty. That's why I didn't watch that crap.
Stephen Grace followed the marches today. He is live at Federal Plaza. Stephen?
Jim, good evening. This is where those protests started. And as it went on for about 2.5 hours, everything did remain peaceful. Now, protesters had multiple messages that echoed through downtown on this busy day. Now, demonstrations snaked through major arteries of downtown, even stopping traffic on Michigan Avenue for some time. People from holiday celebrations like the Chris Kindle Market even joined in or looked on. Now, it was a movement as protesters called into question the country's criminal justice system. They held signs denouncing white supremacy. There were also chants in opposition to police. And what seems to be a common theme is that many here actually expected Rittenhouse to be acquitted of all charges. And that's where they say the problem lies, calling out what some say is a double standard.
It was like the system was kind of just like going towards letting this man off. So, you know, even if he had got off on a fair trial, I just felt like the trial was unfair.
Black and brown people need to rise up and start organizing for our liberation and to not be afraid of folks like Kyle Rittenhouse. That we know that the moral arc is long, but it bends towards justice. So we got to be out here in the streets. We got to be out here making demands for real systemic policy change.
And we did not spot any counter protesters at all during this time. Now, Reverend Jesse Jackson also showed up to this protest, even led it at one point. He plans to lead another one tomorrow afternoon in Kenosha. Reporting live in downtown, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News. Jim?
Steve.
I hate to say it. They need to ride again. I hate to say it. They need to ride again. They need to ride again. Obviously, people didn't get the message. They didn't get the message. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the boy who had the rifle that was bigger than him that killed 2 people and severely injured somebody else? That when Reg was boots on the ground, and he was gracious enough to let us show him. And we got the highest views we got in a long time. I think we got 1,800 on one and 1,300 on another one and 1,000 and 800 on one. And then it started dropping. And we got like 300 and 400. But he was there. And when we saw the footage, that young boy, he had a gun bigger than he was. I listened to a little bit of the testimony. Just a few minutes of it. He was on the stand. I listened to a few minutes of it. If you would hear him, he sounds so cool and calm. Like he rehearsed it, like for a play. And he was sitting there. And he's talking about how he let somebody hold his bulletproof vest. And he's talking about how he walking around with his rifle. And talking about how he went and he bought a rifle sling. And when the attorney asked him, well, why did you buy that? Oh, because when I'm a minister in first aid, when I kneel down, I don't have to worry about, you kneeling down to get somebody first aid. I don't have to worry about somebody picking my gun up. It's on my shoulder. So this dude admits to walking around with a military rifle on his shoulder. Like it's nothing. Let me walk outside with a military rifle. I bet you I won't get a daggone block. This dude walking around like it's nothing. He's supposed to be administering aid. I watched 3 minutes, and that 3 minutes, all he talked about was buying equipment, not buying gear. He talked about buying rifles and getting this and loaning people this, loaning people that. The owner of that car lot wasn't even there and didn't even know that he was there guarding it. He didn't know until he got there. Half the people that were there with him watching over the light. He ain't supposed to be watching the light. He's supposed to be there to administer first aid. And if you noticed, if you watch the videos or if you watch them on Reg's channel, he's a lot bigger than I am. There were people there that were medics. A couple of them got shot with the rubber rounds. If y'all watched it, they didn't have no guns. So why are they walking around with guns? Mother said, so what do you do? Shoot them as they are taking your bike. Is their life worth that? No. But you talking about stores have insurance. Stores can raise their prices. I only got 2 bikes. I only own one of them. If my 2 bikes get stolen, I'm in trouble. I'm back to not being able to get around. I keep saying I'm gonna get insurance and I keep forgetting. No, I didn't sell it. I said I got 2 bikes here. I got Marsha and Bessie. You say he was 17. You got a 17-year-old walking around with a rifle on his back and nobody saying nothing, with bulletproof vest and body. Nobody saying nothing. Let him be a Mexican. I bet you somebody would have said something. Let him be an Oriental. Somebody would have called in on him. He'd have been black. He wouldn't have made it 3 blocks walking. That's the problem. And after the riots and all of that, I'm going to say it. Those crazy hicks, let them go again. They should burn that whole damn state down. I'd love to show the video. I won't feel no pity. And if you're black and you still live there, don't cry. I don't want to hear it. Get up and get out. Y'all need to get out of Mississippi. You need to get out of Georgia. You need to get out of these crazy places. Let them have it. Let them kill each other. Because they're going to find out. When there ain't no cheap labor, they're going to be broke. For all that talk about get out, once you get out, they ain't got no money. Once you get out, ain't nobody to look down on. Ain't nobody to feel better than you is. Once you get out, they got to look at their own sorry relative. Why don't you get out and get a job? Yeah, the minority's gone, but at least they work. Get your butt up and work. Some people might get a little tipsy at what I'm saying. Here is the link. Don't nobody want to talk tonight. It's Saturday night. Where everybody at? Let me hit the linky dink. Who want to call in? All you got to do is hit the link and bring you right in. You ain't even got to pick a phone up. Bobcat said, I saw somebody riding a Swagtron, a horrible tiny bike yesterday with no power. I'm just saying, a lot of people ain't gonna like what I say, but you can't say I'm wrong. You can call in. That boy had no business being out there. Not to mention walking around with a rifle on his back. And if you got kids and you're in that state, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You know the sad part? It's going to be a little ruckus. And then people are going to forget about it. And that's what they're waiting on, something else to happen.
More on the White House decision, but we begin with this breaking story. A CTA bus in a fast food restaurant.
Let's get right to our Dana Kosloff live there at the scene. Dana.
Eric and Brad, that is the back of that CTA bus. It's lit up right now, and that is the back of the KFC restaurant. Right there next to it, of course, a CTA tow truck, the red truck there, getting ready any minute, we believe, to tow that bus. Again, we expect that is going to happen any minute. Now, this incident happened around 7:15 tonight. The bus jumping the curb, plowing over a street sign, and then hitting the back of the restaurant's wall. Amazingly, it did not break through the wall, but the damage to the front of the bus is pretty extensive. Chicago police tell me the bus driver suffered some sort of medical emergency, lost control, and then slammed into the restaurant, which was open at the time. The drive-through is still open. He was taken to the hospital, condition unknown. Other than taking out that street sign and hitting a bike, there were mangled parts of the bike at the scene. The bus missed light poles and several trees along the side of the street. before hitting that KFC. Now, police say no one else was injured, which is pretty amazing if you consider what happened here tonight. It is not clear how many people might have been on the bus, if any. We are still trying to get that information. Again, the driver's condition unknown. I am live at Western and Roosevelt. Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News.
Bus driver said he was hungry. All right, y'all. We going to my state.
Right near Security Square Mall. It was closed off 4 hours earlier today. Baltimore County Police were handling a murder investigation, and as we've reported, a young woman lost her life. WMAR 2 News' Dave Dedling has been following this story, has more now from the center of the investigation in Woodlawn. Dave?
Well, while that shooting took place in the parking lot behind me at this Burger King, it's important to note that that 24-year-old woman was not a customer. We've since learned she was at a family repast at the nearby Gala Center. A dispute of some type occurred in this parking lot, and that's when gunshots were fired. This Baltimore County Burger King parking lot was a crime scene for homicide detectives working a shooting Friday along Belmont Avenue. We're told a 24-year-old woman was shot and later died at an area hospital.
Well, that's a shame. I'm so sick and tired of these people shooting these females. What is going on? People, period, you know?
Off camera, family members tell WMAR 2 News the woman was at the nearby Gala Center prior to the shooting. She was there with family for a repast, but a dispute with another person took her to the Burger King where shots were later fired. This is the county's 49th murder for the year.
These females. How you know this woman didn't have a child or something, you know? I swear.
People driving by the massive scene Friday had to take detours, including 10th grader Josie Ann Chambers. Her bus stop is normally at the fast food spot, but not today. Her grandmother was waiting nearby to make sure she was safe.
Yeah, she was like a little bit concerned because like since it was such a like high police presence, like I assumed something bad happened, but like we just don't know what happened.
As news of the woman's passing spread, people also questioned these two vehicles with visible damage within the police perimeter.
Do y'all hear the difference between city and county? Even though some people are moving, because it's your dream. When I was coming up, it was a dream to go from the city to the county. But listen to how the man talked and listen to how the woman talked. How many times was she going to say like? I was waiting for her to say, totally awesome, dude.
They were abandoned closer to Security Boulevard, and they were eventually taken away as evidence. Inside Burger King, detectives reviewed surveillance videos, all while working to piece together what happened. Right now, there's no exact word on the suspected shooter, an arrest, or motive.
It's happening everywhere, so we just have to live and stay away from crazy.
More love, right? Put down the guns. I mean, people are growing up too fast. They're growing up too fast, but put the guns down. Get some church in your heart.
And a family member off camera telling me that the 24-year-old victim leaves behind a young child. This is still an active investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call Baltimore County Police. Reporting in Woodlawn, Dave Detling, WMAR 2 News.
More on the Red House.
Wait a minute. Somebody sent me a hangout. If you're watching, I did tell you last night, and I invited you, and you said you was going to be busy. Remember? But I told you. You know what the Bobcat say? He said, too bad it wasn't electrical, it would have been burning. He said, downtown Seattle and Pioneer Square have become so dangerous that the King County government will now have security escort employees to the bus, train, or ferry for their commute home. He said, protect their own government people and the rest of us, too bad, get robbed. Unfortunately, Bobcat, that's the way it goes. That's why
Midnight.
if you got a pistol, grab it. If you can't get a permit to carry the pistol, you gotta get the wire spray. Get some brass knuckles, get you a stun gun, taser, whatever you can get. And pray.
Midnight. Grab and run on the State Street at Neiman Marcus.
Again?
Police tell us a group rushed into the high-end store, stealing what they wanted before running out and getting away. No word on exactly what they took or just how much.
Wait a minute, play that again.
Midnight. Grab and run on the State Street at Neiman Marcus. Police tell us a group rushed into the high-end store, stealing what they wanted before running out and getting away. No word on exactly what they took or just how much.
Police just standing there looking stupid. Ooh, oh, CNN, they might flag us. Oh, man, I don't care. Let's listen to a little bit of this, y'all.
A lot to talk about tonight, starting with the trial of 3 men charged in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. CNN's Martin Savage joins us now.
We might get flagged for this.
Martin?
It's worth it, though.
The prosecution had rested on Tuesday. That was after 8 days and 23 witnesses. The defense rested after just 2 days and 7 witnesses. The primary one being, of course, the man who killed Ahmaud Arbery, Travis McMichael.
Drew down on him.
Travis McMichael taking the stand in his own defense for a second day in the trial for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Lead prosecutor Linda Dunikowski continued to go after him during cross-examination.
You also could have stepped around the back of the truck and followed him in the path that way. Is that right?
Yes, but then he would have had an open, unrestricted run around the truck and into my open door into my pickup truck and could have took the truck.
So you're telling this jury that a man who has spent 5 minutes running away from you, you're now thinking is somehow going to want to continue to engage with you, someone with a shotgun, and your father, a man who's just said, stop or I'll blow your head off, by trying to get in their truck?
That's what it shows. Yes, ma'am.
The prosecutor attempted to punch holes in his testimony.
Detective Nohilly specifically asked you, do you remember if he grabbed the shotgun at all? And your response was, I want to say he did, but honestly, I cannot remember. I mean, me and him were face to face the entire time. Do you remember saying that?
Yes, and I was trying to think of that exact moment. Trying to give him, like I said, trying to give him as much detail as possible under the stress and of all this going on. It was obvious that he had the gun from what I was saying in here, you're rereading it, that he had the weapon the way that I was describing it. But why I said he did not have the gun at that second, I don't know why.
Also pressuring him on his self-defense claim.
And you were right there and you just pulled that trigger immediately.
No, I was struck and we were face to face and being struck, and that's when I shot. He started striking, he was on me, he had a shirt or, something to that point, and I had the gun. And I was too close to draw on him.
He's striking you. You've got the gun up in this thing and you can't draw down on him. And it's a struggle and he's on you and you're going back and forth in front of the truck. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And the prosecutor calling out his and his father's alleged intent to make a citizen's arrest.
During your statement to the police, did you say that you and your father were trying to arrest Mr. Arbery? Did you?
No, ma'am.
Meanwhile, outside the courtroom, pastors Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Jamal Bryant, Martin Luther King III, and attorneys Ben Crump and Lee Merritt joined the Arbery family for a prayer vigil, an event organized by the Reverend Al Sharpton, joining a march afterwards to honor Arbery. Earlier, Kevin Goff, attorney for William Roddy Bryan Jr., for a third time filed a motion to keep Reverends Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson out of the courtroom. Judge Walmsley once again denied the motion, and later on, Goff called for a mistrial after objecting to this question from the state.
Do you believe that someone stealing is deserving of the death penalty, Mr. Coker?
Relevance, Your Honor. The mistrial request was denied, but Judge Walmsley admonished the prosecutor and instructed the jury to disregard the question. By the end of the day, the defense rested their case.
You can't disregard that.
We rest.
Nothing in rebuttal.
Ahmaud Arbery's mother sounded hopeful after court ended for the day.
I want to remind you, it was 74 days that we went without an arrest. things happen, and now we're here. And I'm very confident that we will get a guilty verdict. Very confident.
Martin, what's next in the case?
Well, tomorrow they'll go over the charging documents. It sounds like it's just basic, boring stuff, but it's not. That's critical because those are the instructions. That's what the jury is going to be told on the charges. Then the jury comes back Monday, 9 a.m., expecting to hear closing arguments. But again, it's not your typical case. 3 defendants, that means each gets an hour. 3 hours for the defense and 3 hours for the prosecution. We expect that the jury will get the case on Monday. Anderson.
All right, Martin Savage, appreciate it. Thank you. Joining us now is Bishop Reggie.
Y'all know what I can't figure out. Why is it that we see these people out in the street acting like monkeys, but when they're in the courtroom, they so nice and quiet and intelligent and what? He out there and sitting there, yeah. So and I couldn't draw on him, And, what the hell? It's like Jekyll and Hyde. I don't want to have the conversation about this over the air. I'll talk to you later, but I did tell you that I was going to do the sermon on this topic tonight, and I invited you to come along, and you said you had something to do. And you said you had some people that you might want to have come to the show too. And I said, okay, we can do it together later. But I'm still going to do the topic tonight. Okay? Oh, thank goodness you found it. You don't realize when we got off the phone, I spent 3 hours. I even downloaded a plugin called YouTube Buddy something that was supposed to let me see the people that shared the video. And I got the video in my hand and I'm on the phone looking at the video telling you how to use it. I couldn't figure out how to use it. I'm so glad you found it. I'm glad you found it because I couldn't find it. I went through all the emails. I couldn't find it. I don't know where it is or where it went to. I could not find it. I'm so glad you found it. Woo! Not that I didn't care, but I knew that you cared. I'm glad you found it. Thank you. Because believe it or not, I was going to go look tonight when I got off. I was going to go look again. And only because you asked about it twice. I was going to go look for it again. But we got off. I spent 3 hours trying to find it. Because I don't know what channel. I don't know what channel it was because we were broadcasting on 3. 1 and 2, I don't know what that person's channel is. So I was handicapped. So that's a relief. But I did not go behind your back. We talked about it last night. And I told you I was going to do the show. It just wasn't going to be as big. And when you got the people you wanted to bring to the panel, I said we would do it again. I'm kind of disappointed. Maybe you was right. Because we didn't get nobody to call in. I thought somebody was going to come up here. Oh, you fat somebody and say something. Maybe I should have waited. I'm just being honest. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe we would have got, more traction. Did we see this already?
Frustration spilling into the streets across the nation. In Portland, demonstrations turned violent. Rioters setting fires, smashing windows and doors. Protesters from New York to Chicago angry over Kyle Rittenhouse being acquitted on all 5 counts.
Not guilty.
The families of those Rittenhouse shot and killed that night in Kenosha, Wisconsin
Look at 'em.
in August of last year, stunned by the
Look at
verdict.
him.
I'm numb.
Walking with that gun.
No, I'm
like he
still
worked for the army or the military or something.
Huber, one of the 2 men Rittenhouse killed, blasting the way the trial unfolded.
If anyone watched that trial, you can't tell me that judge wasn't biased.
Huber saying his fight isn't over. Will you pursue a civil suit against Kyle Rittenhouse?
A civil suit has been filed, and whether we add his name to it is yet to be determined.
Is the Kenosha Police Department a part of this as well?
Yes, they are, and the sheriff's department and everyone involved.
Legal experts say civil suits could be viable.
I think these are triable cases. You can never predict the outcome of a jury, whether a criminal jury or a civil jury.
Rittenhouse himself speaking to Fox News shortly after the verdict.
The jury reached the correct verdict. Self-defense is not illegal. It's been a rough journey, but we made it through it.
John Huber's son didn't.
This is where my son is. You know, how does he get to walk free after killing him?
Reaction to the trial further demonstrating the country's political divide.
It's like before the trial even starts, people are choosing sides.
Now, some Republican members of Congress are jockeying online over who will hire Rittenhouse as a congressional intern, while Vice President Harris offered this response to the verdict.
I've spent a majority of my career working to make the criminal justice system more equitable, and clearly there's a lot more work to do.
Megan, what has the reaction been on the ground there in Kenosha?
Well, Jose, since that verdict was read inside the courthouse behind me here, the streets of Kenosha have been calm, giving the sense that this community is ready to move forward.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow.
Well, number one, all right, let me take a look. All right, have a good one. I'll talk to you later on. All right, y'all. You know, Nia said he collected more than $1 million in donations. The reason why I said that if you are a minority and you walking around that state, you living in that state, got kids in that state, these was white folks. You don't see Attorney Crump out there. You don't see Al Sharpton out there. This wasn't minority. This was white people. He killed white people for no reason. And they let him walk. A 17-year-old child walking around with a gun on his back. This was white on white crime. This wasn't black people. This wasn't Chinese people. This wasn't Mexican people. It wasn't Oriental people. This was white on white. And he still walked. So if you any kind of color, and one of them good old boys decide that they want to shoot you, what you gonna do about it? They gonna let him walk. They let him walk on the white folk. What are you gonna do? That's why I said if you're still living there, you need to get the hell out of there. Get your kids and move. I didn't stutter in what I said, and I dare anybody to come challenge me on it. What the hell you keep sitting there for? Why are you still living there? Why are you paying taxes? Get the hell out. The hell are you still living there for? I'm making good sense. You can say what you want to say. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This was white on white crime. They won't prosecute each other. They sure as heck ain't gonna prosecute each other when they do something to you. That's common sense. The way that boy was allowed to stay out, it took forever for them to bring him in, for him to pay his bail. Somebody put up $1 million to get him out. Republicans are fighting over to get him as an intern. Man. Oh, man. If I was in that state, I had to get out. I had to sell everything and go. Oh, no. You can step on somebody's shoes or bump into them, they can blow your head off. And won't nobody say nothing. Young 17-year-old boy walking around. With a rifle on his back. Loaning people his bulletproof vest. You know, I think it's illegal to have, here, I think it's illegal to have a bulletproof vest and me walking around with one on. I think it's illegal. I know it's illegal to have body armor. But how many of them kids did we see walking around with body armor on and bulletproof vest and all kinds of army fatigue gear, grenades and stuff? That's why I said, if you still there, I don't know what to say to you other than leave. Because what are you there for? Why would you want to be at the mercy like that? The people in charge not even safe. Hey, Jason King, the people that live in that state are not safe. I don't care what color you are. They not going to prosecute. It's amazing that they got a conviction. This young boy get to walk free and be a celebrity, and he's a killer. One day you're going to turn the TV on, and he's going to be right there on the show doing something. That's sick. No matter how you slice it. That's sick. That shows you what people are like underneath. It's scary. You can try and live there and be nice to everybody. Somebody get mad at you for some reason. Somebody tell you something. Hey, how you doing, Jason King? Welcome to the show. They just walk up and shoot you. Took them weeks, months to get him to even come in. The same way. They was never able to get Brian to come in after Gabby went missing, I mean, this ain't the first time and it won't be the last time. I live for the day when I can say last time. How many times, hey Jason, how many times have we seen people get shot in the back? We pay people to tackle and arrest these suspects. We don't pay them to shoot them in the back and they're running away. We pay them to tackle them, handcuff them, and stick them in the back of a squad car or throw them in the back of a paddy wagon. We don't pay them to shoot people in the back. If a burglar come in your house and you pull out a gun and he turn around and run, you can't shoot him in the back. But a cop can shoot you in the back. Make that make sense? Cop can shoot you in the back. Somebody running, you supposed to catch them. That's what we got, helicopters. We pay you to catch them. Bring them to the courtroom so we can judge them. That's what we pay you for. We don't pay you to be executioner. We have a judge. We compose the jury. We decide whether to give them life, 10, 20 years, parole, whatever. That's not your decision to be the executioner. But that's the issue we having. Because it's easy to just shoot somebody in the back. We talking about how come the kids don't fight no more? Why they always shooting? But who they learning it from? They learning it from the police. I don't feel like chase them. Shoot them in the back. That's what you pay to do. You can't do the job, don't do it. Do something else. People walking out the store, got stuff in their hand. Your job is to protect the store owner's property. You sit there, we ain't gonna worry with them people. They might hurt us, but there's a car parked here. Let's just block it in and we'll get them to see they safely in the car. They rather pull you over because they got the advantage. Us citizens can do that. What are we paying you for? I'm just saying. Some of y'all agree, some of y'all don't agree. That's why we have a chat. Y'all can come
now
up.
To the ongoing gun violence here in the city. A child is safe after getting caught in the middle of a shootout in the Bronx. Police are now looking for two men who opened fire near a child on Webster Avenue in the Claremont section. Surveillance video shows the men arguing before exchanging gunfire. A child is then seen running away. One of the suspects then returns and grabs the child by the hand before walking off. This all happened yesterday around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
The child was right there, out of sight. I don't understand how you see somebody with a child and still want to shoot.
Well, Philadelphia police are also investigating an attempted robbery that ended in a deadly shooting. A food delivery man fought back when 3 armed robbers approached as he arrived home in the city's Mayfair section overnight. Let's go to Action News reporter Jacqueline Lee live at police headquarters, and Jacqueline, security cameras in that neighborhood recorded the whole thing.
That's right, Walter, and police are reviewing the footage. Now, multiple neighbors tell me that the suspects were actually waiting for the victim before trying to rob him. Those neighbors call the victim brave. Saturday night around 12:15 a.m., the victim in an attempted robbery in Mayfair turns the tables on armed suspects. We're blurring the video to protect eyewitnesses, but here you can see the victim near the door of his house.
He was coming home, taking a break from his job delivering food for an online food delivery service. He went inside his home with some food for his family. Upon coming out the rear door in the back alleyway behind the 3200 block of Longshore Avenue, he was confronted by 3 black males, at least 2 of whom were pointing guns at him, demanding money.
Police say the victim told the suspects that money was in his car. As one suspect started looking for it, the victim pulled out his gun and started shooting.
I don't really like violence, but it's in self-defense. So if he didn't shoot them, they might have shot him. So I think in that case, like, there's not much he can, do.
Neighbors say the area is filled with Brazilian and Chinese immigrants, people who work hard and for long hours. They call the victim brave.
It's really good that the victim actually be able to defend himself, because other people wouldn't have a gun or wouldn't be able to defend themselves.
Officials say 2 of the men were hit several times by bullets and taken to the hospital. 1 remains in critical condition. The second suspect died from his injuries, both about 20 years old. The third male suspect is at large. And police say that the victim did have a concealed carry permit. The homicide unit is investigating. At this point, no charges have been filed.
No charges should be filed. How could you file charges? But I'll listen. Anybody want to tell me whether or not they should try to file charges on the man? The man came out of his house. You don't run from home. For those of you who said they should have just let him rob him and hope for the best. That man's family was right there. Suppose they would have shot him in there and then went in there and raped his daughters and shot everybody in the house too for no witnesses. Then what? Then you would have said, oh, he should have done something. Well, he did do something. He should be given a medal. Not being questioned. All right, at least we got a nice story here.
What would you do? Money, a lot of it, flying in the air, landing right at your feet.
A couple of local high schoolers stumbled upon some cold hard cash fresh off an armored truck. They told our Stephen Graves about their only option of what to do with it.
For a day in Skokie, it was like money grew on trees and came down like fall leaves.
It was so windy, literally money was floating in the air.
Zev Goldstein and his friends were walking from breakfast Thursday morning outside Fastman Yeshiva High when more green than grass started appearing.
Hundreds of 20s just lying on the ground.
I was like, whose is this? Where is this coming from?
Kobe Kamish figured something was off, so he tried to give the cash to a man in the distance running to pick it up.
And then he was like, just keep it.
Turns out that guy was pocketing it.
And then we look across the street and we see the armored truck.
Across Toohey Avenue, a Bank of America ATM, where the bank says a third-party vendor somehow let money get out of the armored truck.
Because of how windy it was. It was futile and he just gave up.
And how much did you find?
790, I think.
The money now in the hands of police.
And I thought the right thing was to give it back to the people that actually, it's their money.
But it was a feeling for a moment.
The best day of my life initially.
That these guys won't soon forget.
Yeah, I wish it could happen a second time.
Skokie police say they are still investigating this, so they can't say how much money exactly was found or if there's surveillance footage of this. What they do say is they are very thankful for these teenagers and their honesty and wanted to make sure it was recognized. Reporting in Skokie, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
All right. Luckily, it was only $700 and something, because if it would have been a lot of money, like 4,000 or 5,000, people would have been harassing them. Oh, you dummy! Why you give it back? You should have gave it to me. People would. All right, y'all. Out of Chicago again.
Between carjackings, armed robberies, and car part thefts, it's been a tough year for Illinois drivers. Stolen catalytic converters are on the rise nationally, including here in the Chicago area. CBS 2's Marissa Parr takes us to Evanston, where police are getting creative in their efforts to ward off thieves.
SUVs like this one are prime targets for catalytic converter thefts because they are high off of the ground, easier to get underneath. We've talked a lot about catalytic converter thefts, but have you heard about how spray paint might be a possible solution? Forget what you know about spelling.
All right. Does anybody know the proper pronunciation of the word? I've heard people on YouTube say Cadillac, like the car. I've had some people say catalyst. I've had some people say catalytic, Cadillac, catalyst. Does anybody know the correct pronunciation?
Under these cars, the words "don't steal" are spelled EPD.
My catalytic converter is being autographed by the Evanston Police Department.
What an honor. One by one, cars big and small showed up for their turn.
I think it makes us feel better. It's very nice. They're trying to do something.
That something is the area's very first catalytic converter marking event, using spray paint made for heat. Evanston officers tagged the converters so that if a thief gets to them next,
they're going to see bright red spray paint.
The stolen catalytic converters are most often sold to scrap yards. Since the start of the year, Evanston has had over 160 catalytic converter thefts.
We had our catalytic converter stolen about 2 months ago in the middle of the night.
But it's an issue nationwide. For example, in California, State Farm Insurance said its customers' claims for catalytic converter thefts jumped 175% between June of 2020 and June of this year.
It's a difficult issue to address, but we're starting it with just trying to mark them. Hopefully they'll see that and want to move on. If they take it to a scrapyard, maybe they won't take them because they've been marked.
The hope is that the bright red stencil will be a bright red flag.
I feel like I've done something. So there are no guarantees, but at least I can say I tried. I did my best. Now, it's up to the universe.
Evanston police said that this event was so popular and sold out so fast that they're already thinking about their next one, hoping to hold that one sometime in the spring. Reporting in Evanston, Marissa Parra, CBS 2 News.
Illinois State Representative LaShawn Ford has proposed a new Illinois law that would require catalytic converter sellers to show their IDs to buyers. The Illinois General Assembly is expected to address the measure at the start of the new year.
I feel so sorry for the people that live in Chicago. And y'all probably saying you live in Baltimore City, which ain't much better. But God, it is better, God darn it. I couldn't imagine. I'm being honest with y'all. I couldn't imagine living in Chicago. Could I do it? Yeah. Growing up with an alcoholic stepfather, we moved around a lot. So you had to make adjustments. But damn. Even though I'm not in the greatest of shape, and no, I'm not. If I don't feel like I can fight, I won't go outside. Sometimes I tell y'all that we going out at 5 o'clock, we going out at 6 o'clock. I might not make it outside till 7:30, 8 o'clock. If I don't feel like I can defend myself, I won't go outside. Ain't no need for it. I'm not gonna be somebody's victim. Man, ain't gonna be no easy go. If I don't feel like I can fight, I don't go. A lot of times, y'all will see I ain't going out at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all like, why does he go out so late? If I don't feel like I can defend myself, I'm not gonna go outside. If my knee is hurting, if my back is hurting, if my chest is hurting, I'm not going. Pure and simple. I'm not going outside. If I don't feel like I could defend myself, I'm not going to go out there. If you don't feel well, sit your butt down somewhere. So I was always taught, don't be a burden to somebody else. Because if you're not ready, then that means you need help. And who wants to be a burden on somebody else? That's the one thing I do feel like a lot of the times. Do feel like I'm a burden. But the one thing I won't ask is for help defending myself. Let's go ahead and promote these bikes. Is the Friday sale still on? This is the Pasolette PX5. It comes in white, and I have the one that comes in black. This bike, this is the bike that we call Bessie. What do we call? Do you know how hard it is to get a gun permit? There have been lawyers that can't even get a gun permit. It's very hard to get one. Very expensive. A lot of money. Democrats don't want you to have no gun. The people guarding them, they want them to have guns, but they don't want you to have none. This is the Pasolette PX5. This is the bike that we call Bessie. I can tell you about this bike because I'm looking right at it. I own it. This is the best budget basic bike, foldable, that I've seen. The features that you get with this bike and the price tag and the performance is just unheard of. 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires. It's got a 7-speed Shimano shifter. Yeah, it got the Mickey Mouse shifter. Yeah, it got a black and white display. It got mechanical disc brakes. It got a 48 volt, 10.4 hour battery, which is standard on the foldable. It's got front headlight and it's got a tail light in the seat, as you can see. It's got front suspension. And it's got a rear suspension seat post. And it's comfortable. The seat is comfortable and the suspension seat post is comfortable. I can't take full advantage of it. See, the suspension is, see under the seat, see that spring right there? That's just rubber, but it's a shock, just like it's a shock in the front right here. That's a shock on the seat. It's better to have it on the frame so everything is padded, but you know, it takes care of your butt and your legs, you know, when you hit a bump. You know, you got the 4-inch wide fat tires to help with the shock, but having that suspension seat post, it helps. But you get the fenders, you get a rack. That rack has never let me down. It's always carried my groceries. Bike always get me up the hill. Don't cut off. It's just, this is a nice little utility vehicle. And you can take it off-road too. I think that this is the best 500 watt bike I've ever rode. And I paid for this with my money. I know what I'm talking about. And won't nobody accept my challenge to bring their bike so we can test them out. You say move to a southern state. Oh, Lord. So that can be so I had to worry about being an Ahmaud Arbery. There's the link to the PX5. And here's my coupon code. Let me show you what you do with it. It's Black Friday sale. They asking $11.99. Use my coupon code. You can get this bike for $9.99. $9.99. Go watch the videos of me riding this bike. We rode this bike for almost 3 hours straight one night. Almost 3 hours straight. I took a spare battery along. We rode through the whole east side of my city. This is a darn good bike. $9.99. You can't beat it. Free shipping. No sales tax. Have it to you within 7 days or less. $9.99. That's all you're going to pay. $9.99. They're going to pay your sales tax for you. So you ain't even got to pay the sales tax for your state. No excuse not to have that bike. If you got a couple more dollars, then let me show you the upgrade to Bessie. Let me show you the upgrade. This is the Pasolette PS6. I personally want one of these. When I can get 15 of y'all to use the coupon, I'll earn one of these. It comes in army green for those of y'all in the military, but I want a black one, just like my Bessie. I want a black one. Now you probably saying to yourselves, well, the bikes look the same. Well, they do look similar because one is a 5 and this is the upgrade. This is the 6. The Pasolette PS6. They both got the 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires. They both got, that's where it ends. They have nothing else in common. Bessie is the budget version. But Bessie has a 500 watt motor that peaks between 750 and 800. This bike has a 750 watt motor that peaks between 1,050 and 1,100. You see the upgrade? Bessie has mechanical disc brakes, but this bike has the upgrade. It has hydraulic car-like brakes. See the upgrade? The PX5 has a 10.4 amp hour battery. This bike has a 12 amp hour battery. And even though it's a bigger battery, if you do have a PX5, or if you have an Electric XP 1.0, or if you have an Ecotric, the battery will fit all of the foldables. Every foldable that's like this, the battery will fit. Because it's just how many batteries they put in there, but it's still the same container. So even if you already have a foldable, chances are it'll fit and work. But this foldable got a 750 watt motor. It's got the hydraulic brakes. It doesn't have seat post suspension. It's got full frame rear suspension and front suspension. It doesn't have a black and white display. It's got a color display. It don't have the Mickey Mouse shifter. It's got the updated Shimano gearing system. And this is an Altus. This is a Shimano Altus gearing system. Not Turney. This is an Altus. Middle of the line. So if you are athletic and you change gears a lot, you're going to love this bike. Got a 330-pound weight limit. Both bikes had that in common, the 5 and the 6. This has the tail light on the 5. It's in the seat. It's actually in the rear of the seat, and you have to put batteries in it. This bike has the tail light at the end of the rack. The tail light is at the end of the rack. The 750 watt motor, the 12 amp hour battery, the hydraulic brakes, the 8-speed Altus shifter, the full frame suspension. To me, this is the best foldable I've seen. You see one better, let me know. And I can't wait to ride it. I'm trying to earn one because I know what the 5 can do. And that got a 500 watt motor. This has a 750 watt motor. My 5 has a suspension seat post. I'm gonna be able to put the seat all the way down, and my feet are going to touch the ground. I can't wait. I don't know why y'all not using my coupon so I can get this bike. Somebody get it for a Christmas present. I can't wait to ride this bike. And I don't know why people ain't buying it. I mean, it's like the best deal. I just don't get it. But let me give you the link here. I don't know what's going on. Y'all don't like foldables? You can fold it up and put it in the back of your car. Fold it up and put it under your desk at work. I don't see what the problem is. Here's the linky dink. That's the link. And let me type in the code. I know some people irritated that I'm pushing the bikes. Well, y'all say generate some of your own income. Well, I'm trying. Help me out and buy a bike. Christmas time. Here's the linky dink. I mean, that's my coupon code right there. Let me show you what you do with it. Like I said, it comes in black and it comes in green. For those of y'all in the military, ride that around the daggone base. They asking $15.99. Black Friday. Let me show you what my coupon code can do for you. You can get that bike for $12.99. $12.99. 750 watt motor. They can peak well over 1,000 watts. Heavy duty rack. Fenders. Lights. Hydraulic car-like brakes. Color display. It's foldable. 12 amp hour battery. What more could you ask for in a foldable? This bike is the king of the hill. Let's keep it moving. That was the foldable. Now let's go to the MTBs because we got the Brady girls. We haven't shown this bike in a while. I don't think he gave me a new coupon code. But let's take a look. This is our Cindy Brady. We haven't shown her in a while because he didn't give me a new code for her. But I'll go ahead and show her. This is the Cindy Brady. We have it in orange. We have it in green. And we got it in that gray. It's something about that gray. It's something about that gray. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an e-bike. Believe it or not. That is an electric bike. I know it don't look like one. It look like a regular old bike you see at Dick's Sporting Goods hanging up upside down. But that is an electric bike. It's got a 500-watt motor that can peak at almost 800 watts. It's got a 7-speed Shimano shifter. It's got mechanical disc brakes. It's got a black and white display. It has front suspension. Doesn't have rear, but they fixed that in the next model. It's got a 13 amp hour battery. Now, if the man did what I said, this bike should be $999. If it's not, we're not going to show it again because I'd rather you get Bessie, the Passelect PX5, than to get Cindy. Cindy looks more cleaner, but I'd rather you got the PX5 for $999 and save your money. They both got similar motors, so if it's more money, I don't know why you would spend more money. But there's the link, and this is my coupon code. And let's see what happened with the coupon code. Because they asking $11.99. When I put this code in here, it should say $9.99. Nope, it say $10.99. Now it took $100. All right, we ain't even gonna show that no more. If somebody interested, you're welcome to buy it. But I'm not happy with that. I am not happy with that. So that was the Cindy. That was Cindy Brady. This is the Jan Brady. This is the middle of the line, the middle child. This is the bike that was featured on electric.com. If y'all ever watch Micah. This e-bike, it comes in grand orange, but so did the one I just showed you. But we're not going to spend too much time because this bike sells itself. Look at it. The bike sells itself. You probably saying, well, Minister Bubba Derek, it looked the same as the bike you just showed us. Well, this is the upgrade to that bike. But you can already look at it and tell what's different. The first bike I showed you, it didn't have no shocks in the back. This has full frame suspension. Not only that, it got the same 13 amp hour battery. It has the same 500 watt motor that peaks at almost 800. But what makes this different? Features. The suspension in the rear. It's got an 8-speed Shimano shifter instead of a 7-speed. It's got a color display. It's got an upgraded shifter, and that shifter is 8-speed. So if you want the features, if you want the premium features of having the full frame suspension, because the tires are 27-inch, 2.8 inches wide. They ain't 4 inches wide, but they almost 3 inches. It gives you that sleek look. Doesn't look like an e-bike. It looks like a regular bicycle. You don't even see no wires hanging down. Ain't no battery hanging out. There ain't no controller sticking out. Saying, look at me, I'm an e-bike, come steal me. People going to ask you all day, is this an e-bike? If you want the premium features of having the rear and front suspension, this is a full suspension e-bike. If you want the color display, if you want the 8-speed gearing instead of the 7-speed gearing, if you want the hydraulic brakes, then you want to spend a couple more dollars. Now, the budget bike was $10.99. Let me get you the linky dink if you want the one with the features. Because see, our Brady girls are just like the Toyotas. You got the Toyota Tercel, you got the Toyota Corolla, and then you got the Toyota Camry. And right now, we on the Corolla. This is your Toyota Corolla, Jan Brady. Let me type the code in here. First bike was the G9. This is the GS9, the upgrade. Let me copy it. And let me send it in. So that's the link. GS9. And then here's my coupon code, Brother Derek GS9. Let me show you what you do with that coupon code so you can get yourself this sexy bike here. They asking $14.99. But check it out. With my coupon, I can get you this bike. $11.99. $100 difference between the G9 and the GS9. For $100, you can get the 8-speed shifter instead of the 7. For $100, you can get hydraulic car-like brakes instead of mechanical disc brakes. For a mere $100, you can get a color display. For a mere $100, you get full frame suspension. Full frame, not just front, not front and the seat post. You get full frame suspension for $100. You get all those features for $100, and it don't look like an e-bike. $11.99. Full featured. Anything you want on a bike that's on there. Beautiful. But check it out. That was the Jan Brady. We got one more Brady girl for you to see. They happen to send me one. This is our Marsha Brady. We call her the Queen of the Hill. Now you probably saying to yourself, well, what's the difference? If you say that, you blind. Because the first thing that should stand out to you, this looks just like the bike I just showed you, except for one thing. Look at those fat tires. 26-inch, 4-inch wide tires. These tires are taller than a car tire. I didn't say they were wider. They're taller than a car tire. I know because I went up to a couple cars and put the tire in front of it. These 26-inch, 4-inch wide tires are like riding on pillows. And then you got front suspension and you got rear suspension. Now this is very similar to the GS9 that I just showed you. They both got hydraulic brakes. They both got color displays, but the color display on this one is more updated. It's an upgrade. This doesn't have an 8-speed shifter like the last bike. This got a 9-speed shifter. This doesn't have a 13 amp hour batteries like the G9 and the GS9, the Cindy and Jan do. This got a 14.5 amp hour battery, and you need it. You know why you need a bigger battery? Because this thing has a 750 watt motor that peaks at almost 1100. The other two bikes have 500 watt motors that peak at almost 800. This is the powerhouse. This is the Queen of the Hill. This is the mother load. This is the mother chode. And guess what? It don't look like an e-bike. There ain't no battery hanging out. Ain't no controller hanging out. Ain't no wires all over the place. Nobody will know you have an e-bike unless you show them or you ride by them doing 29 miles per hour. Then they'll know you want an e-bike. Ain't nothing like riding this bike, let me tell you. Let me tell you. This is the bike you want. Let me get you the link. This is the GS9 Plus, the Pedelec GS9 Plus. Let me get you the coupon code. Copy it. You got a, oops. It got a dash in it. Wait a minute. Okay, let me copy it. All right, that's the link, and this is my coupon code. Let me show you what you do with it. Look at them fat tires. Telling y'all, and that suspension is to die for. They asking $16.99. When we first started doing this, they wasn't even selling this bike, but other people had it for $2,200. Look what my coupon can do for you. $14.99. Not even Walmart. Walmart just started carrying this bike. They can't even beat this price. $14.99. No sales tax. Free shipping. Have it to you within 7 days. You buy an electric car, an electric e-bike, Biden gives you 15% off on your tax returns. What excuse do you have to not buy this bike? We got one with no frills for $10.99. We got one with all the frills for $11.99. This bike got everything you want. The big 26-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires. It's got a 750-watt motor that peaks at almost 1,100 watts. It's got a 9-speed shifter, 14.5 amp-hour batteries, hydraulic car-like brakes. It's got an upgraded 9-speed shifter. What more could you want? $14.99. So I got a $10.99. I got a $11.99. I got a $14.99. Cindy, Jan, and Marsha. Level 1, 2, and 3. How high you want to go? Do you want the Tercel? Do you want the Corolla? Or do you want the Camry? Which one you want? Make your decision. I've shown you all the bikes. Why y'all ain't buying them, I don't know. Is it that you don't want me to get my PS6? Is that what it is? Because I don't understand why y'all wouldn't treat yourselves. Yeah, it helps me out, but why wouldn't you want to treat yourself? But I have a Marsha, so let me show you. Let me show you what riding her is like. Oh, crap. On 100. That's 65 miles per hour. I don't know if she can do 65 miles per hour. But let's see. We're waiting for the light to change. And then we're going to gun it. All it's changing. Let's get it. Let's go, y'all. Can we beat it? 750 watts. Can your bike do this? Oh, we hit 36. We hit 36. Holy stuff. We hit 36 twice. My helmet trying to come off my head. Can your e-bike do this? Going up. Yep. Oh, right there waiting on it. Bam! Kaboom! That light change. Car right there waiting on us. Yep, I would have tried it. Y'all have found me in the weeds. I knew it right in front of me. Hope you don't keep up. Oh, Lord. These folks are ridiculous. This is me like, oh, Lord. I just wanted y'all to see the fun it is. $14.99. $14.99. No tax. At your door within 7 days. $14.99. What's your excuse for not getting one? What's your excuse? Now I showed you a bike that was $5.99. Oops. Where am I at? Down here by John Hopkins on Wolf Street. Are we live? You can get this bike for $8.99. Hey, Bobcat. Yeah. We're gonna redo the live we did before. But are we live right now? I need to know. Because it looked like we had cut off. Now, y'all see me in the street. Where am I at? Down here by John Hopkins on Wolf Street. You can Google it. We just passed Orleans, and we're heading down to the waterfront. This is our first mobile live, where we got 360 degree views. We got 2 of them. Y'all can see the penguin is on the handlebars. I wish this would get off my day on music. See if I can fast forward this here. You ain't got to put on the red light. She said, you ain't got to work for money. All right, every day said, yes, I am. All right, thank you. Wanted to make sure we were still alive. Live into his ass. With the get up and the with it. You see the street is raggedy. And we ain't got to worry about it. We got to fix it on. Like that man said. Now this is kind of unfair, but we actually had the Samsung camera on my head. So let's get another view. Look at this. We out here with the cars. Y'all say we don't ride with the car. We out here with the cars. Y'all see that? We riding with the cars. Y'all see that, right? We out here riding with the cars. How you doing? You see, we at Walgreens. Let me go pocket. You see that? That's a Pasolec PX5. All right, let's roll it in. Yeah, I got the. It's on the helmet. It's in my hand. So hold on, I'm trying to get y'all a view. I'm gonna put it in here. How you doing? Security guard right there. I had something to tell him. He ain't even here today. Put the $20 bill. Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. So we out here. That's why I had those. Right. We take it right inside. But let's leave. Waiting for it to catch up. Now you see the helmet right there. It's in my hand. That's where the camera's on top of the helmet. Right there. See? Lean on the wall for a second. Lean for a second. Now let's speed up some. Right. How you doing? Boom. All right, y'all, let's roll. We leaving the Walmart. I mean Walgreens. Keep saying Walmart. We leaving the Walgreens. Y'all want to take North Avenue? This is the famous North Avenue. This is East North Avenue.
Let's go. They got a bike lane. All right, y'all. That girl won't be the stop sign.
Y'all see we out there with the cars. Even though they gave us a bike lane. March Funeral Home. That's one of the graveyards. We got a lot of graveyards in Baltimore. So I saw it was clear. I could have went around the bus. But I just wanted y'all to see. This is what you can do with these e-bikes. If you don't have a car, that's no excuse for you not be able to get around. Uh-oh. The police actually arrested some of the people.
Police have arrested 8 people and are promising changes in Union Square after a huge smash and grab crime spree just hours ago. In fact, last night, a group of police officers surrounded a suspected getaway car and smashed
Bobcat, you late.
windows in front of the Louis Vuitton store.
Last night, luxury stores including Burberry, Bloomingdale's, and Armani were hit, but suspects didn't just target Union Square. They hit cannabis dispensaries and Walgreens. Now the mayor and police chief are saying that they will end the madness.
KPIX5's Max Darrow is live in Union Square.
All right, wait a minute. Hold on a sec. Bobcat just said, you said that they stepping it up. What do you mean they stepping it up? I was advertising the 700 series, then nobody bought one. better than this. I know better than this. Mud Duck says competition. Where the competition at? It's a reason why I stopped covering. Number one, y'all wasn't hitting it. We didn't sell anything. But if they put some real suspension on here, I might look at it. Seriously. Let me bring y'all in. I thought I made a mistake, y'all. Whoops. There we go. All right. Here we go. Now I give it to him. I like this step through frame. I give him that. I give him the step through frame, but what features are they giving you, Bobcat? This ain't nothing but how much they want for this? They want $1,600. This thing do the same thing that Jan do. This bike ain't no better than Jan. And Jan, I can get you for $11.99. This ain't nothing but a fat Jan. So it's gonna be slower. They lie and say it got a 750 watt motor. But if you go to components, it tell you right here, 48 volt nominal rating of 500 watts. That means it's a 500 watt motor. So why they say it was 750? But they said it's a 750 watt motor. So that means that it can peak between 750 and 800 watts. But they got on here, the controller has a potential out peak of 1,000 watts. Potential. We already talked about what peak. Peak is if the bike stores up energy. The motor stores up energy and it can hit the peak. So they said it's a 750 watt bike. It can peak at 750 watt bike. Now they saying because it got a 22 amp controller that it can do 1,000 watts. So I don't like how they lying to you. But Jan has a 13 amp hour battery. This has a 14 amp hour battery. And 1 watt. They both got hydraulic brakes. It's got an 8-speed shifter, just like Jan does. Oops. It's a fat Jan with fenders on it. It comes with a fender in the rack. No rear suspension. You only got a 500 watt motor. It looks pretty. No rear suspension. Why would you pay 16 something for this e-bike? Why would you pay 16 something for this e-bike when you can get Jan with the same features and full frame suspension? Why would you pay 16 something for this bike? You can get Jan with my coupon for $11.99 and have full suspension. This ain't nothing but a fatter, heavier looking Jan But I do have wait a minute, that's the wrong. I had the wrong one. Is it under support? No. Where is it? Hold on a sec. Scroll down to the bottom. I ain't been here in a while. Yeah. Affiliates. Here we go. What? I have to re-log in? Hold on. I don't remember. Oh. Did the computer remember me? Here we go. What's the reason? Balance is 0. Closed transactions 0. Revenue 0. This month, me. I came here twice. The first time when I messed up and went off screen, and just now. That's why we don't. Look at this. That's why we don't promote it. Not that I don't want to. But what's their best bike? You said the 700. They got the limited for $17.45. Let's check out the limited. I think this is the only one that I would take seriously. Now it says 7,500 watt geared motor. Check the components. And this really is a 750 watt motor. All right, so we on Marshall level now. It's got a 14-hour battery. Marshall has a 14.4. Color display, they both have. Brakes, they both got hydraulic brakes. Tires, they only 2.4 inches wide. Marshall's is 4 inches wide. I'm looking. They both got 22 amp hour controllers. This has a Shimano 8-speed shifter. Marshall has a 9-speed shifter. All right, it comes with a rack. It comes with a rack. I don't see a rack on there. Let me open it up in a new image. The tires are smaller. It only has an 8-speed shifter instead of a 9. It only got 2-point-something inch wide tires. And they want 17 something for this. I can get you Marshall for $18.99. I'm sorry. But maybe we'll start promoting them again. But I'd rather have Marshall. I'd rather have the 9-speed shifter instead of the 8. I'd rather have the full suspension. So Bobcat, if I start promoting them again, are you gonna buy one? Mud Duck says 4 inches of snow here. You cheating? Speed run, no black ice. Who the heck gonna do a speed test on black ice? I ain't getting paid for this. I ain't no stunt man. Y'all trying to get me killed. Bobcat said they stepping it up. How are they stepping it up? Oh, because Bobcat reviewed it. I mean, because the Electric reviewed it. What the heck? I'll show the video. If anybody want to go there and use my affiliate link. Wait a minute. Do I still have it? I thought I had the affiliate link right there. Ain't it? Here it is right here. Copy. Here's my affiliate link. I'll show the video. Ain't it? Give me a second to find it. Electric. Electric.co. Oh. There it is.
And today we're reviewing the Ride One Up 700 series. Let's check it out. The Ride One Up 700 series is nearly as close to the ideal commuter e-bike as you can get from the way I see it. First of all, it comes with all of the stuff that many companies hold back behind a paywall so they can upcharge for accessories. You get included LED lighting, included alloy fenders, and a really nice rear rack. I know some people say that you don't really need fenders or a rack included and that those that want them can add them, but I find these parts so useful that I consider them necessary.
Where the rear suspension?
Commuter e-bike. Fenders are critical in rainy areas, and even dry environments have the occasional puddle to ride through. And considering the bike is IP65 rated, the company knows that a lot of people are going to be getting it wet. Also, a good rear rack like this that is already designed to accept pannier attachments really opens the door to commuting with extra stuff or even picking up groceries on the way home. Other components also seem like smart choices on the bike, like the Schwab Moto X tires. They're 2.4 inches, so they add some nice cushion, and they have a big old contact patch with the road. Between those and the 100 millimeters of travel in the front fork, there's a lot of shock absorption going on here. Then check out those dual piston hydraulic disc brakes, which I love for their strong performance and low maintenance. And that 8-speed Shimano drivetrain. Now the derailleur is a Shimano Acera, which yes, is not the nicest piece of kit out there, but let's get real. It's more than enough for 95% of us that do real-world commuting each day. And dropping down to an 11-tooth cog for the highest gear also helps make sure we don't run out of gear ratio at top speed. Considering the top speed of the bike is 28 miles an hour, a tall gear ratio is important. Just as important as having a high top speed for commuter use, in my opinion. If you want to stick to the 20 mile per hour throttle limit, that's fine, but I like being able to go faster when I need it. Sometimes you find yourself on the side of a 45 mile an hour road, and you're pretty darn happy to go as fast as you can to reduce your exposure time. The pedal assist unlocks that 28 mile per hour top speed, and the bike loves traveling that fast, especially with those awesome street tires. The 500 watt motor actually pulls closer to 1000 watts peak thanks to a 22 amp controller. And so high speeds or hill climbing are no problem at all for the 700 series. Now it will eat into your range if you travel at high speeds all the time. The battery on board is a 48 volt and 14 amp hour pack with 672 watt hours of capacity. That's a round average for these types of commuter e-bikes. Now they claim around 30 to 50 miles for the 700 series, which of course is only achievable on the top end in the lowest pedal assist level. The 30-mile end of that range is more representative of throttle riding or level 5 pedal assist riding. Even so, 672 watt hours is plenty of battery for most commutes. Most people can recharge at work if necessary, though most people also won't need to recharge at work because it's pretty rare to have a commute of over 30 miles round trip. And those that do probably are not doing it on a bike. I know the few people that do will call me out in the comment section, and I thank both of you for saying something. But the fact is that the vast majority of us are going to be fine with 30 miles of range on the low end. And if the price to pay for having just an average sized battery is that I get it neatly tucked up into the frame like this, that's fine by me. In fact, the entire aesthetics of the Ride 1UP 700 series is fine by me. They really did a nice job of building a normal looking bike here, from the colorway to the battery integration, and even extra touches like this cable management. Just look at how clean those cables look, all bundled up in spiral wrapping. And that color LCD screen. Each of these things is just a few extra bucks, but it's nice to see that they went above and beyond on these parts. Now that I've done a bunch of gushing though, let me tell you what I don't like as much. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of the left side thumb throttle. I'm a right side throttle guy myself. Call me old-fashioned, but that's just how I was raised. I do get why they went with this though, because the right side of the bars has those trigger shifters, but then why not go with the right side half twist throttle? The undisputed king of throttle types, and I will fight you if you disagree. Next,
well, we need to fight that.
Parts that I like to call nice to have.
What are we going to dig it out, Mike?
It would have been nice to have. Ride 1UP did put one on their limited e-bike, so it would have been cool to see it here. But those kind of nitpicky things, yeah, I can find them. But the fact of the matter is, this is a really nicely designed and spec'd e-bike, even before you consider the price. But then when you see it's priced at just $1,695, you start to realize what a deal that is. There are plenty of e-bikes at this price, but that don't give you things like the hydraulic disc brakes, or that charge you extra for fenders or a wrap, or that are not water resistant, or have ugly bolt-on batteries, or any number of other little details that often get left out, but that Ride 1UP ensured to include. So while there are only a few areas that I can try and ding the bike on, the fact of the matter is this is really an awesome option in the commuter space. It's fast, it's comfortable, it's nice looking and well equipped, and the fair price seals the deal in my opinion. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the Ride 1UP 700 series. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.
It's not too late. No,
Like I said, I put my affiliate link in the chat. If anybody want to go there and buy one of their bikes or buy anything, click my affiliate link and I'll earn 5% of whatever you get. 5%. So Bobcat, you gonna go buy a 700 series? You gonna spend $1,600 when you can get Marsha for $14.99, or you can get Jan for $11.99. You can get the 26-inch fat tires with Marsha and a 750-watt motor, or you can get Jan with the 27.5-inch, 2.8-inch wide tires. Or spend $12.99 and get the PS6 with the 750-watt motor, full suspension, 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires. They don't give you no coupon codes. Just if you get somebody to use your link, they don't take nothing off. I just get 5%. So that's like $5 off of every 100. So, you know. But they don't give you no coupons. That's another reason why we couldn't get into it. No rear suspension and no coupons. I asked them to send me some coupons. They never did it. They didn't respond. So that's why we stopped promoting them. You know, we had you know, but that's why we stopped promoting them. Because they never responded and nobody wasn't buying nothing. And I'm not a good liar. I can't look you in your face and tell you, you know. You know, it gives you fenders and it gives you a rack, but it won't give you full suspension. It will cost you $200 to $300 to put rear suspension on the e-bike. But, you know, I got the Plus. I put a rack on there for $13.43. I'll put a rack on there. I'm just saying. Put my own rack on there. You can go on Amazon and get fenders for $6.99. Even cheaper on eBay. So the stuff that they're offering doesn't excite me. And I'm keeping it real. If I had the choice between that Unlimited, which is the 750 watt motor, I'd rather go with the PS6. PS6 give you defenders. It gives you the heavy duty rack. It gives you the rear tail light. It gives you the hydraulic brakes. The only thing you would miss out on is the battery, and you wouldn't miss it because that battery got to turn 27.5 inch by 2.4 inch tires. The PS6 is turning 20 inch by 4 inch wide. You're still going to have more torque. You're going to have more torque and more power. And you see how Bessie run, and that's only a 500 watt motor. Imagine what we be doing on a 750 watt motor. You see what the 5 do. The PS6 has the 7. Imagine it. That's why I can't wait. Mud Duck said just seat suspension. He said, "Oh, you need a welder and chop saw." Well, everybody ain't like you, Mud Duck. I'm not getting into all that crap. I just want to get on there and ride. All I want to do is get on there and press the throttle. That's what I want to do. And pedal when I want to. But it gave me an idea though. I'm gonna look on Bessie and see the amp. Wait a minute, I gotta find one of the books. Oh, it's backwards. What the hell? Okay, so where are we? Anybody remember which one was the Was the amps? Oh, hear me. Hold on a second. I'm looking. Okay, it says the limit value 12 amps by default. The range is 1 to 20 amps. Oh, hear me. So I'm gonna make sure that Bessie is on 20 amps. Matter of fact, give me a second, y'all. I'll take a look. Welcome to the Sunday sermon, everyone. This is Brother Darrell, Minister Brother Darrell. And, you know, I want to come to you. And I want to tell you things that you can use and things that'll get you to have a connection with Jesus and God. So I wrote this. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's get to it. St. John wrote that Satan accuses us believers before God day and night. The Lord depends on us to do what is right. But our flesh is not tough enough to stand alone. We lean on Jesus so that we're no longer prone. See, if you're slack, you're vulnerable to attack. In many ways, men today are slaves to the greediness of his flesh. Money, women, and cars, sports, pornography, and bars. But these are the things that God hates. So he separates and chastises us till we change our ways, humble ourselves and pray. Remember, the house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. And that's good to know that God loves us all, black and white, short or tall. He only asks us to be more like him. Then you won't want to sin. Let God into your heart and make a fresh start. You have a clean slate. Jesus' blood makes you pure in God's eyes. So stay vigilant and keep the evil and this world at a distance. Ignore the devil's resistance. He's hoping that you slip. He chips away at your faith and strips away from God's grace. But when you Jesus, he'll mediate on your behalf. The devil has many demons on his staff, scouting, shouting things in your ear, chipping away at your self-esteem while you daydream. So be alert, get close to the Father, and tell Satan and his army, man, don't even bother. But I say this, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace. I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. People are talking about struggling, saying life is hard, rough, you got to be tough. But there's nothing harder than standing up to God. Evil is rampant. Even in our nation today, morality is gone. That's why our society says no right or wrong. Fulfill your wants, go along with the crowd, or feel the wrath of that tongue. This country's going to hell in a basket or a casket. And if you speak, You're labeled a fanatic, a Bible quoting, scripture quoting do-gooder who's living in a fantasy world, waiting for a heaven that never comes. But God's will be done. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side. Swallow your pride and humble yourself. Ignore the traps of this world. Study the word and let the knowledge unfurl. Because I'm telling you, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. This is Minister Brother Derek, and this is the new theme song for our Sunday sermon in the Bible study. Peace, everybody. Much love to you. All righty, y'all. I'm back. Yeah, she goes up to 20 amps. So they were saying that the 700 had a had a 22 amp, but the limited had a 22 amp also. I have to ask Mud Duck. Mud Duck, you have a Jan. How high the amps go on how high does the controller go in amps? But like I said, I mean, if people was interested in, shoot, I can't even get nobody to buy the Pedelec, and I'm talking about selling somebody else's bike, but I try. All right, this is 1 hour ago.
Tonight, one man accused of a double murder and stabbing a police officer in two different cities. 22-year-old Matthew Lance appeared in Fulton County Court this morning, the judge giving him a more than $500,000 bond.
I'm going to give you a $25,000 bond on carrying out a knife during the commission of a felony. I'm going to give you $15,000 on the carrying a concealed weapon. I'm going to give you $50,000 on each burglary in the first degree.
Now, that bond you just heard, it's for 35 crimes Lance is accused of in Sandy Springs. But before any of that happened, police say Lance killed a Cherokee County firefighter and his wife in their home. The bodies of Justin and Amber Hicks were found Thursday morning. Their 2-year-old son found inside the house unharmed. Lance is charged with 2 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and other crimes. Now, there's another connection in this story. Matthew Lance is the brother of a man named Austin Lance. Now, the two lived in a house next door to the home of Justin and Amber. In April of this year, Austin was charged with trespass and burglary for entering Justin and Amber's home. But at the time, there was another couple living in the home. A neighbor told me last week after Justin and Amber's murders, there's been a history of harassment from Austin to the previous homeowners.
It was a thing with the neighbor
Mother said he
behind the
doesn't know.
house, was terrorizing them. So it's just a lot going around this house, and I feel so terrible that it got to this extent for this couple who just moved here, and they were so excited to be homeowners and start their lives together with a little kid.
Now, the previous couple that lived there told the Washington Post Austin left notes and inappropriate photographs in their mailbox. Justin and Amber moved into the house a few months later. Austin was later killed by police in Washington, D.C. in August. Police say Austin stabbed and killed a Pentagon officer. Now his brother Matthew is accused of murdering the couple, and he's accused of breaking into homes and stabbing a Sandy Springs police officer 2 days after the murders. Police believe Matthew broke into several homes and attacked an officer when they responded to 911 calls. He was shot and taken to the hospital. Right now, he's in Fulton County Jail, where he faces charges there and the murder charges in Cobb County. Justin and Amber will be buried on Tuesday.
There goes Shane. Uh-oh, 1 hour ago.
Thank you. Gurnee police say a deadly shooting overnight apparently started with road rage. Police say just after midnight, a Waukegan man got into a fight with another driver near Waveland and Grandview in Gurnee. That's when someone in the other car started shooting. The driver rushed to a hospital in Waukegan, but it was too late to save his passenger. The 22-year-old victim has not been identified. Anyone who may have seen anything is urged to call Gurnee Police or the Lake County Major Crime Task Force.
In the ad, it said 22 amps, but they just keep lying. Why they gotta lie about the specs? I don't understand it. Why they got to lie? Why do they have to lie? What?
Saturday night, I'm Walter Perez. We begin with breaking news from the city's Lawncrest section. A woman who was 7 months pregnant has been shot and killed after attending her own baby shower. Action News reporter Katie Catro joins us live from the scene with details on this horrific crime. Katie.
Walter, police say it appears that this woman was targeted. She was unloading gifts from her baby shower in and out of her car into her house when someone came over and shot her in the head and stomach. Police are still out here looking for clues, and the situation got tense at one point as a woman who identified herself as this woman's best friend came out here screaming, very upset by all of this. You can see police out here, and I want to show you that car in front of the woman's house, still filled with diapers inside. We just got an update from police, and they say whoever is responsible for this is cowardly. Take a listen.
What do you say? I mean, the person that did this couldn't be more cowardly.
Police say a 32-year-old woman returning from her own baby shower, unloading presents from her car when she was shot and killed outside her home on the 6100 block of Palmetto Street in Lawncrest. An officer in the area heard the gunfire around 8:30 p.m. and rushed to the scene to find the 7-month pregnant woman shot multiple times in the head and stomach. She was rushed to Einstein Medical Center, but it was too late. Both mother and her unborn child died. Neighbors say they are fed up with the gun violence.
And she was a nice person up and down the street. Would this just happen right here at the end of my block? Enough is enough. It's time for the city to do something. Everybody getting fed up. We tired of it.
And tell me what you and your wife heard inside your house.
No, she just heard 7 shots. That was it. And it's just sad.
The city is nearing 500 homicides. Children are getting shot, unborn children getting shot. What is the city doing about this?
The city as a whole is doing what we can. We can't stop people who are intent on shooting somebody. When I look at this situation, it looks like someone was targeting her and looking for her.
And again, back out here live, that is the car that the woman was unloading gifts from her own baby shower from when she was shot in the head and stomach. Again, still many baby presents still left inside the house. Now, police still out here on scene looking for clues as to who's responsible for this. They say at this point, they don't know if they're looking for 1 or 2 or more people, and they don't know a motive at this point. But what they do know is that this was targeted, and police say they found around 11 shell casings out here tonight. Police on scene also telling me that they believe that the woman's mother was inside of that house when her own daughter was shot outside of her house with a 7-month baby. Again, both mother and that unborn child unfortunately died tonight. That's the very latest here in Lawncrest. I'm reporting live. Katie Catro, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
Such a disturbing story.
All right. So that means that somebody knocked her up and didn't want her to have a baby, or somebody who wanted the man responsible for knocking her up wanted to take her out to get her out the way. Which one do y'all think? Can we take a little peek with the state?
Thank you, Judge. All right, page 18 at the top, we have conjunctive disjunctive, which actually is the pattern 1.4 4015. And the state just requested that it be specially tailored, and the court is correct. It is both count 7 and count 9, where we have an and, which of course in legal terms for demurs means it's an or. So what we have is on count 7, did make an assault upon the person of Ahmaud Arbery with a Ford F-150 pickup truck or a Chevy Silverado pickup truck, an object, etc. And then we have count 9, which of course is in violation of the personal liberty of Ahmaud Arbery, did unlawfully chase Ahmaud Arbery through the public roadways of the Satilla Shores neighborhood in pickup trucks, and did attempt to confine and detain him without legal authority on Burford. And that is under criminal attempt to commit a felony. So we asked for the conjunctive disjunctive on both counts 7 and count 9. And then we have the affirmative defense, of course, justification, and then the statute 17460, grounds for arrest, citizen's arrest. Now, when we get to the bottom of page 18, we have right and duty to execute a citizen's arrest. The state objects to this particular charge. This particular charge provided by the McMichael defendants cited to Long versus the state.
Hold on a second. Let me get there.
Sure.
All right, hey, this is boring. All righty, y'all. I'm getting ready to get out of here. UFC on tonight. And for those of y'all in the boxing world, Terrence Crawford fighting tonight. So I already I cooked some chicken earlier. So I'm going to put some veggies in the pot. So we ain't got to worry about that beep, 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 beep tonight. For those of y'all that don't know, I started cooking when I got off last night. And I was chatting with somebody, and let's just say the chicken was well done. It wasn't burnt, but it was well done. But it set off the witchcom. And there's that cat going to the bathroom. Yeah, you're gonna run me off here, ain't you? Stink pot. Mother said peak nice for short sprints. I want foot to floor. Well, yeah, and when you're going uphill, it go even faster. I mean, that peak. Yeah, well, you go up a long, steep hill, you need nominal power. Peak power will give you that quick burst, but you want nominal. It can't stay there. Nominal is where it can stay without overheating. If you keep pushing it, you're going to make it overheat. It's not meant to stay at that speed. It's not meant to stay. So, alrighty, y'all. Thanks to everybody that came by and watched. We're gonna hit this again. We definitely going to hit this again. Like I said, I was hoping to have a guest tonight, but we're going to do this subject again when I can get some people to come up here. You notice, couldn't get nobody to come up here. But don't forget, even though we ain't looked at the news, we ain't looked at the bikes, the sermon was a question. Are you the fool the Bible talking about? Are you that fool? And I was surprised we couldn't get nobody to come in here and tell us why they believe there is no God, why they are an atheist. Not one person came up. So we'll revisit this again, and hopefully I'll have some guests and some different opinions. But like I said, I didn't call him a fool. God did. So don't come after me. But if you do, you ain't gonna get nowhere. All right, y'all. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, I see you tomorrow. We're gonna be going out tomorrow. It depends on Walgreens. I just realized they didn't give me 5 of the insulin pens. They only gave me 3. So that means that I gotta go spend another $10. And somebody just gave me $10. And I gotta go spend it on some daggone insulin. I'm glad I got it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I got it. But god darn. Boy, I tell you, first of the month can't get here fast enough. First of the month cannot get here fast enough for me. I'm dead serious. It can't get here fast enough. It's creeping and it's moseying in. It can't get here fast enough for me. I'm just being honest. So we're gonna both bikes are sitting here charged. I guess we'll take we're only going down to the pharmacy. I don't know which bike to take. I guess we could take Marsha down. Unless I want to go for what's the one on Sunday? Unless I want to go for a long bike ride, I might could bring both batteries. That hill is going to be something. Is there a way to get around that hill? That's the question. Is there a way to get around that hill? If there was a way to get around that hill. So already, y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Peace. We out. Thanks for watching, everybody.